Check, 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 check.
Yeah, can you bring that up a little so it's a little higher?
Check, check, check.
It's left
Check,
and
check,
right.
check.
Okay.
Check, check, check.
Is our phone?
I have in my car.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and start the. We're gonna go ahead and start the Southgate special council meeting. If I can get roll call, please.
Mayor Davila,
Present.
Vice Mayor Baron,
Present.
Councilmember Avalos is excused. Councilmember Hurtado,
Present.
Councilmember Rios,
Present.
City Treasurer de la Paz,
Present.
City Manager Houston,
Present.
City Attorney Salinas.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll go on to item number 1.
The City Council will issue certificates of appreciation to the United States Postal Service mail carriers and clerks. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, first of all, I would like to thank all the letter carriers and clerks that are here today from our post office on Wright Road. First of all, welcome and thank you for the great job that you do every single day, whether it's raining or it's hot, super hot. During Christmas time, I mean, you guys are always out there, and but most important, if I recall, seeing some of you at the Children's Lane Parade, always picking up the letters from those kids. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and applaud you for the great job that you guys do every single day. I know you get days off, but again, I know that some of you have been working there for decades and just delivering the mail to our families here, and especially during Christmas time. I'm sure there's gifts and packages that you guys deliver. So thank you, and I applaud you for your great job.
Yeah.
So today we are here to recognize you for the years of service that you've been working with the post office, and we have letter carriers and clerks. So I'm going to be reading first one, and then I'll go ahead and read the second one, which is a little bit different. The first one, and I'm going to mention the first name, so bear with me because, and I'm only going to read one name. It's presented by the Southgate City Council on behalf of the citizens of Southgate to Moises Cifuentes in recognition and commendation for your 30 years of dedicated service as a mail carrier to the Southgate community. Through rain or shine, your steadfast commitment has ensured that neighbors, businesses, and families remain connected to your dedicated reliability and friendly presence that have made you trusted professional and value part of your city, of our city. The city of Southgate extends its sincere appreciations for your loyalty, hard work, and meaningful service. So Moises has been working for 30 years, and for 42 years, we have Esther Valverde.
Is she here?
Is she here? Yeah. Anthony Navarro has been working for 37 years.
Yay.
Antonio Gervasio has been working for 31 years. Gilbert Gonzalez has been working for 31 years. Hipólito Ceballos, 31 years.
Yeah.
And just a disclosure, Hipólito is part of our family, my family.
Yeah.
And for the services of I am sure is it Dolores or Dolores? Yeah, I think it's misspelled. So we're gonna fix it. Dolores Carranza, 31 years. Jose Escobar, 30 years. And now the clerks, I'm sure you, the one who works in the office, we have Leslie Thong, and she's been working 31 years. Service clerk, 31 years, Armando Aguirre. And also service clerk, Marisela Castro, 31 years. Again, thank you and congratulations for your commitment that you have been giving our city. And, sometimes, decades, because you all have been working there for decades, which is 3 decades, and it's just amazing and how time goes by so fast. Yes, sometimes we do feel it, but at times we just don't know where the time has gone. And I'm sure that all of you have known a lot of families that have come and go, and you build relationships with them. And it's just, such a beautiful job that you guys do. But I'm sure, dogs are also your friends. So with that, I know our council member Rios wanted to say some words.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for being here and your families for being very supportive. A few months ago, the current federal administration was making a lot of cuts. They started with USDA, that aid to foreign countries for food and health and all of that, and then they, do you remember Elon Musk with the chainsaw and all the other, they even cut the CDC, they cut the Department of Education, half of the staff left there. Our Social Security is also department has been cut, the staff. So those of us, they're going to be retiring soon. They're going to see how that goes. But and I thought about, well, where are the federal employees here in our community? And then I thought about, and then I saw Ceballos, my POSA, and he's a federal employee. Yeah. So, and I thought about, my daughters, he saw my daughters when they were real little, and now they're grown. They have kids, my sons, and always consistent. And I said, wow, our mail carriers and our clerks, they don't get recognition. They don't get the credit. I guess we take you for granted because, right? I mean, we see you every day. You're out there, and finally we get to acknowledge you for your contribution, for the service. You're credible. These are credible careers, right? You stayed there those 30 plus years, so it's a good job, and we thank you for your service. We're real pleased. I'm pleased because I know there's people that just look for that check, right, or that family letter or that package, and we know you're reliable and you're consistent and you take care of us, and we're so grateful for all the work you do, and really, and all these years, 30 plus years. Thank you for your service to our residents and to the community for the good work.
Thank you. Councilman Hurtado, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's part of my family out there. I supervised for over 30 some odd years, and I got to tell you, that group of people, they're the most dedicated. You only think about them delivering mail They do a whole lot more. They do welfare checks on people, right? They know that, especially the elderly, those that have illnesses or whatever. And you know, you hear the motto about neither snow nor rain. That thing should be longer. No toys on the ground, no dogs chasing you, no supervisors yelling at you, and you know all that other stuff. And I got to tell you, all the 30 some odd years that I put into the Postal Service, I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that. You know, people can say, hey, you know, a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, but you know, you are overlooked for all the contributions that you make. You keep families in touch. And sometimes it's real difficult. You see a piece of mail and it's handwritten and you wonder, I wonder what that says, but somehow you figure it out. You know, and sometimes, you know, there's stories that you hear about a piece of mail that was sent out by someone, you know, 15, 20, 30 years ago, and somewhere it got stuck somewhere, and you still find it's where it's supposed to go. And again, I really think that in all the years that I worked there, I couldn't be any prouder of every single one of those employees that I had the honor and the privilege to supervise. And for that, I thank you for all you do. And the ones that I know, Paula was my letter carrier. I know she's delivered to me a couple of times. I know when I go to the post office and I get my postage stamps for whatever Christmas or whatever, he's very friendly and, you know, we got this too, we got this too. And I know you're trying to sell up. It's like going to McDonald's and say, you want to supersize? He does very good at doing that and stuff. But I only came in for this one. I know, but we got these. You want these? And he does a good job. So if your supervisor's listening here, he does a great job, okay? And where's my letter carrier? Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah, and letter carriers do that too. So again, I'm very proud of each and every one of you, and to the families also who are out there. And if we put you through too much when we're doing our political mailings, I apologize for that. But if it's overtime for you, then hey, then there you go. All right, but thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I just want to go ahead and echo what my colleagues are saying. Very appreciative of the work that our mail carriers are doing out there. You know, I've lived in the city for a lot of my life. I grew up here since I was the age of 5, and my mail carrier has become family in my neck of the woods. She's seen my daughters grow up. She's seen she saw my wedding announcements go out. My birth announcements go out. You know, she was there to witness a lot of things in my family, and it becomes really apparent how much she's witness of my family. And we shared many hugs, many tears together, and she's really become family. So I'm very appreciative of what she is. But you know, beyond that, it's an amazing accomplishment. You know, the United States Postal Services. I have always said that. Can you imagine we put a stamp on a piece of envelope, a piece of paper, we put it somewhere and it gets delivered a whole different place, maybe across the country in a few days. What an accomplishment that is. You know, you guys really should take pride in that. Take pride in the fact that you guys are part of a system that most countries are still nowhere near being able to get to. It's a really great accomplishment. And the fact that I was just trying to do some quick math here. We have over almost 200 years worth of service being recognized today. What an accomplishment. Be proud of that, and all that years of service here in our community. What a blessing to have that here. The only thing I'm worried about is who's there to take over when you guys are no longer here. You know, we got to make sure we're ready to train the future, right? So those family members behind you, you know, get ready. Get your walking shoes ready. But thank you again for being here, and it's an honor to be able to honor you guys here today. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna go out here and present you with a certificate, but if anyone would like to say something, please come up to the mic. Go.
Yes, on behalf of of all of us here, and mainly from the United States Postal Service here at Southgate, we thank you for the recognition that we humbly will accept. We do nothing but what we're supposed to do, service you people, service your families. And that's what we call to do. Rain or shine, we're there to serve you. So that's our main goal. Make sure that your letters, your packages, your bills get there on time so that you don't have to pay late charges. But mainly, the opportunity that we got to come here today is a history. We never been recognized in our city of Southgate that we know. But today we did, and we thank you. So, like I said, humbly, we accept this recognition, and we thank every one of you. So, on behalf of the United States Postal Service, once again, thank you very much.
Okay, as you come up, we're gonna have you taking a picture, okay? Marisela Castro, yeah. Armando Aguirre. If you can please come in. Leslie Shaw. Leslie, she's not here? Okay. Jose Escobar. Dolores Carranza, not here. Okay, we're gonna take it anyway so we can fix it. Oh, it's here. I put it on Jose Escobar. There we go. Thank you. Hipólito Ceballos. Let's see that. Gilbert González. ¿No vino? No está. Antonio Gervasio. Anthony Navarro. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Esther Valverde. Moisés Cifuentes.
Feel free to get up, come up front.
Please come up, take pictures.
This is your moment with them, so come on up. Skywalker, you're here, okay? I'm tired. Go ahead, take one.
Okay, with that, we're gonna go to the next item. Item number 2.
Madam Mayor, the City Council will consider receiving and filing the list of new and promoted full-time employees hired or promoted during the month of August 2025.
Okay, John.
Good evening, council. We have two individuals to introduce to you this evening. And the first one comes out of the Parks and Rec Department, which I'll turn over to Steve Costley, our Parks and Rec Director.
All right.
All right, sorry, catching up. I was in the door monitor, so. Well, good morning, or good, is it morning?
Good morning, Steve.
I'm totally lost. I still haven't done it. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's close enough. Good evening, council members. Our first person here is Sergio Lupien. He's our new park facility maintenance worker. He comes to us out of the city of Lenox, but he just moved to the city of Southgate. He is here with his wife and his children, and he used to work in aerospace and doing other things like that, but he loves the city he's in and decided to come work with us and join us in the Parks Department. When he's not, helping us at the parks, he loves hanging out with his kids, having fun. He's trying to get them all into boxing classes and other things like that. So he can't be here tonight because he's actually setting up for an event at the park. Sorry. But he was happy to be here and happy to be part of the team.
Thank you. And the next one, Chief.
Mayor and council, Isaac Bateta can't be here tonight, but I think you're all familiar with him. He's a long-term employee with the police department. We hired Isaac as a police recruit on March 16th of 2015, and he graduated from Orange County Sheriff's Academy on October 22nd of that year. He was then promoted to a police officer in November of that year. Isaac had worked a number of assignments, including the Detective Bureau and the Crime Impact Team, and he gained a lot of knowledge working gangs. And he got a lot of experience in the Detective Bureau, which has helped him prepare for the position of sergeant. He was actually promoted as a sergeant. He was an acting sergeant for several months prior to making him a permanent sergeant in May of this year. And he's hit the ground running, gets to work the weekend teams with all the young officers that he's got to watch as he works. That's actually a good way to say it. But anyways, Isaac was a long-term resident of Southgate, grew up in Southgate. Prior to coming here, he actually flew helicopters. So he's got, now unfortunately, we don't have a helicopter program, but that's not to say the next chief won't bring one here, right? You can land it in the parking lot. But anyway, Isaac really does appreciate the opportunity to be promoted, and he's not here tonight, but we'll congratulate him when we see him.
Great, thank you. Okay, so with that, we'll go to the next item, which is closed session. If you can please read closed session.
Madam Mayor, item number 1, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9A, 54954.9B3C, 54956.9D14, A. Lorena Higadera and Luis Higadera versus City of Southgate et al. B. Teresa Reyes Ramirez and Hector Ernesto Ramos Ramirez versus Joshua Ruben Gonzalez, City of Southgate et al. C. Secondary opioid manufacturers and Purdue National Opioid Settlements, United States District Court, case number 117 MD 2804. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, City Attorney. Any further report?
Yes, thank you very much. The of the matters that are listed, one is Lorena Higareta and Luis Higareta. That is a lawsuit against the city involving a collision with the city vehicle. And so we'll be talking about that. There it is, a new suit that was filed against the city this month. And then the Teresa Ramirez and Hector Ramirez Martinez versus City of Southgate is also another traffic collision involving a city vehicle. And then finally, item 1C, secondary opioid manufacturers and Purdue National Opioid Settlements. I just want to spend a quick moment on this one if I could. This has been widely publicized in the paper. A number of states went after large pharmaceutical companies that one in which invented token Thank you. Which is an opioid. It's an addictive drug, and and received a settlement, a very large settlement. We had previously, as a city council, approved that settlement. It was subject to ultimate approval by the bankruptcy court. It received approval by the bankruptcy court, but the approval was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. So it went back to the bankruptcy court. They've since revised the settlement agreement and will be coming back. Of that settlement amount, approximately $440 million will be coming to the state of California if all the cities sign up, and most of them do and will. And the deadline for signing up is September 30th. Our share of that, roughly, it's very difficult to give you precise numbers, is about $60,000, $66,000 a year for that, but it can't be used for general fund money. It has to be restricted to treatment opioid illnesses. And when we last approved this, we agreed to let the County of Los Angeles oversee that money. And so we'll be talking about in closed session that. Similarly, the other settlement involves other opioid manufacturers, not the inventor, which was Purdue Pharma. This is a series of other opioid manufacturers. They have agreed to come to the table, and they are agreeing to settle for a smaller settlement amount. We'll talk about that in closed session there. The total amount coming to the state of California is approximately, I have my notes here, so just bear with me. It's approximately 90 million, of which we would get a very small fraction of that amount. I think the allocated method, which has already been agreed to, is something like 0.00166%. So you have to add another couple of zeros there. It's a very small fraction of what we will be receiving. So we'll be talking about that in closed session.
Thank you.
Seeking approval. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. At this time, open it to the audience. We don't have anyone in the audience. Well, we do have Carol, but we don't have no one in the audience to speak on any of the items. Or so we close. Do we have any emails?
We have one email from Mr. Mario Dominguez, who has observed that the city of Santa Ana's city attorney publicly reads settlement dollar amounts during meetings, and the LA County Board of Supervisors includes lawsuits amounts in the agendas. And he asked why Southgate does not provide similar transparency. He respectfully requests that the city publicly state and include on our agendas the dollar amounts of all lawsuits, payouts, and settlements. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. At this time, we're going to recess this agenda so we can go ahead and open the Housing Authority regular meeting. Roll call, please.
Chairperson Davila,
Present.
Vice Chairperson Barron,
Present.
Authority Member Hurtado,
Present.
Authority Member Avalos is excused, Authority Member Rios, City Treasurer De La Paz,
Present.
Executive Director Houston,
Present.
Authority Council Salinas.
Present.
Okay, item number 1.
The Southgate Housing Authority will consider adopting a resolution accepting grant funding from the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Department, HUD, for the Foster Youth to Independent Program and approval of appropriation of $83,194 for the housing vouchers and administration of fiscal year 25-26. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Quick question. It's 6 o'clock. We're still going to go into closed session. We have a presentation on this item. Is that correct?
Correct. We do have a short presentation.
Okay, short presentation, like about how many minutes?
5 less.
5 minutes.
I like your list.
Okay.
We'll do less.
All right, so let's go ahead and do the presentation because I was going to recess this agenda, but I don't want to keep Carol around. So go ahead, Carol.
Thank you. So we're just bringing you this item for a resolution accepting the grant funding in the amount of $83,194 for the Foster Youth to Independence program. So this program will be providing housing vouchers for the youth that are exiting the foster care who are at risk of homelessness or that are becoming homeless after they have exited the foster care system. The youth that are eligible for the Foster Youth to Independence vouchers are between the ages of 18 and 24 years old. And they are also exiting, sorry, I should go. They're also exiting the system within the next 90 days. So the way that we're going to administer the program is the Southgate Housing Authority will be partnering with the County of Los Angeles Department of Children and Family Services, who will be the responsible party to refer the transitional age youth to the Southgate Housing Authority. The Southgate Housing Authority will determine whether the youth are eligible, and then we will process the vouchers and do the administration of those vouchers. In addition to the rental assistance that we will be providing, there will be supportive services that the youth will receive as well from the Department of Children and Family Services. So just to give you a background, in October of 2024, the Southgate Housing Authority Board authorized the Housing Authority to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Children and Family Services to provide the supportive services and for the Southgate Housing Authority to administer the voucher program. In August of 25, we submitted the application to HUD and requesting funding for 5 transitional age youth. So there is a gap in between of October 24th to August 25th. There was a lot of work that we had to do and also identify the 5 youth before we could submit the application. So on August 28th, 2025, the Southgate Housing Authority received the award notification and the obligation of $79,444 in funds for housing vouchers and $3,700 for the administration of the housing vouchers. So we are here to request approval for the acceptance of the grant funding and also to authorize the appropriation of the funds that we will be administering.
All right, great,
Was
thank
that
you.
3 or 5 minutes?
Thank you. Council, you have any questions? No? Okay, at this time, I'm going to open it to the audience. Anyone in the audience? No? Okay, do we have any emails on this item?
No emails, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. What's the wish of council?
Move approval.
Okay, I got a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Authority Member Hurtado,
Yes.
Authority Member Rios,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Barron,
Yes.
Chairperson Davila.
Yes, motion passes.
passes.
Thank you,
Thank
Carol.
you, Carol.
All right, this time we'll go to item number 2.
The Southgate Housing Authority will consider approving the regular minutes of March 25th, 2025.
Okay, anyone in the audience on minutes? Being none, do we have any emails?
New emails.
Emails, what's the wish of council?
Move
to approve.
approval.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Roll call?
Authority Member Hurtado,
Yes.
Authority Member Rios,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Barron,
Yes.
Chairperson Davila.
Yes.
Motion
Okay.
passes.
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
We are adjourned. Okay, so with that, we'll come back from recess and go on to closed session. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, at this time, we're coming from closed session. City Attorney?
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. The City Council met in closed session to discuss pending litigation. Item number one involved a collision with a city vehicle. The case is Lorena Higadera and Luis Higadera versus City of Southgate. We discussed that in closed session. After we had our presentation, there was a motion made by Mayor Davila and seconded by Councilmember Hurtado, and a vote of 4-0. The City Council authorized City Attorney to defend that matter. Councilwoman Avalos was excused from participating in closed session. Item number 1B, Teresa Reyes Ramirez versus and Hector Ernesto Ramos Martinez versus City of Southgate. There was a presentation made in that case as well. Another incident involving a city vehicle collision. There was a motion made by Mayor Davila, which was seconded by Councilmember Hurtado, and a vote of 4-0. The City Council authorized the City Attorney to defend that matter. On item number 1C, this relates to two settlement agreements, one involving the secondary opioid manufacturers and the other one involving Purdue National Opioid Settlements. As I discussed before we went into closed session, these are settlements that have been entered into by a number of states, including the state of California. And these are monies that are paid by opioid manufacturers. In one case, as a result of the settlement, the state of California will be receiving $70 million. I had given a different number before we went into closed session. And in the other one, the state will be receiving $440 million. Our share of that is a very small share, 0.00166%. We'll be receiving a very small sum of that, but that money will be monitored and directed to the County of Los Angeles to oversee the program applicable to Southgate. That was made on a motion by Member Hurtado and seconded by Mayor Davila, and on a vote of 4-0, the City Council authorized the city manager to move forward to execute any and all settlement agreements relating to those settlements. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. That completes my report.
Thank you, City Attorney. At this time, anyone would like to speak on these items, please come forward. Not, I'm closing the audience, and we have no emails. Oh, the emails were read, so at this time, can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you. Okay, and now we're getting ready for the Southgate City Council regular meeting, but before that, si hay personas en la audiencia que necesiten traducción, tenemos audífonos. Si necesitan audífono para traducción, por favor, levanten su mano. Mantenga su mano arriba para que se les den unos audífonos. Manténgala arriba, ¿ok? Okay. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Luis. Okay. So with that, we're going to open the Southgate City Council regular meeting, and we have to do the invocation. Steve Costley, as soon as he's done giving headsets away. And for the Pledge of Allegiance, it will be our Chief, Darren Arakawa. If y'all can please stand.
Please bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, as we change seasons here and go from summer to fall, we know that there are changes that you have for all of us, Lord. And we thank you, Father, for all that you provide for us. And we ask at this time for your wisdom for our city council members and for all of our residents in the city. We ask for your protection on the residents and the employees of the city, and special protection on our police officers. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Chief?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Davila,
Present?
Vice Mayor Barron,
Present.
Councilmember Hurtado,
Present.
Councilmember Rios,
Present.
City Treasurer de la Paz,
Present.
City Manager Houston,
Present.
City Attorney Salinas.
He stepped
Here.
out. He's
Okay,
here.
He's here. I just want to state that Councilmember Avalos is excused for tonight's meeting.
Yes. Okay, so with that, item number 1, we have a public hearing.
The City Council will consider A, adopting a resolution approving the fiscal year 24-25 Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, KEEPR, and B, authorizing the city manager or designee to submit to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development the fiscal year 24-25 KEEPR. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
City manager?
Yes, we have Carol here, our housing manager, to provide us the CAPER report, our annual report. Thank you, Carol.
Okay. Thank you, Carol. Go ahead.
Sure. I'll give you a very brief report. As a recipient of the CDBG and home funding that we received from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the city is required to prepare a consolidated annual performance evaluation report. Oops. Each year for the fiscal year that happens from July 1st through July 30th, or through June 30th. And so this year we are presenting the fiscal year 24-25. So we're going to give you a summary of the accomplishments for this past fiscal year. So we assisted 296 persons with tenant landlord housing rights services through the Fair Housing Foundation. 40 persons were served by the Family Violence Prevention Program. 12 youth participated in the Southgate Police Explorers Program. 4 youth participated in the work experience internship provided by the California Latino Institute and the Chamber of Commerce. And over 10,535 graffiti abatement assignments were completed. So the recommended action for this item is to adopt a resolution receiving and approving the program year for 24-25, and then authorize the city manager or his designee to submit the CAPER to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD.
Okay, great. Council, do you have any questions before I open it to the audience?
No, I was just going to say that great job with the work that you folks are doing out there.
Thank you.
The only thing I want to say is that unfortunately, some folks have not learned that graffiti doesn't really bring any value to anybody, and the amount of money that the city uses for graffiti abatement could be used for other things, helping the other people that are benefiting from these programs. But unfortunately, it's something I've seen since I was growing up in the 60s, graffiti's everywhere. I sometimes joke around with my wife. We watch Netflix and we see programs from different countries, and I say, I'm going to report that graffiti on that wall, but it's really a nuisance. And I just really hope that people understand, talk to your children, let them know that it's not a good thing. And again, we never know where those kids are coming from, but too much graffiti, so much waste going on. I just wish we can do a little bit better, but great job with the
Thank you.
program. Thank you.
Councilman Rios?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Carol, for the report. I just, I know that this annual monies that comes from the federal government every year, but is there a question that because, a lot of federal dollars are not always arriving now or being cut. Anything news on that? We're going to continue to seek this money?
So for this year, there was a cut of 11% for CDBG. We have submitted all the, we brought the 5-year consolidated plan to the council as well as the annual action plan. So that has been approved. So we're just waiting for the contracts for this fiscal year.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Great work. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open it to the audience. Anybody would like to comment on the public hearing, please come forward. Okay, being none, I'm closing the audience. And did we have any emails on this item?
No emails, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you. What's the wish of council?
Move to approve.
Second.
That motion, a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hurtado,
Yes.
Councilmember Rios,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Barron,
Yes.
Mayor Davila.
Yes. Our motion passes.
Motion passes.
Okay, then we move on to item number 2.
The City Council will consider A, waiving the reading in full and introducing an ordinance amending Title 11, Chapter 11.43, accessory dwelling units and accessory structures of the Southgate Municipal Code, and B, accepting the determination that the proposed amendment is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, as a ministerial project pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15268A. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, City Clerk. City Manager?
Certainly, I'll pass it over to our Community Development Director, Gabe Perez, for him to kick off this next presentation.
Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor, members of City Council. Joshua Valdez, our Associate Planner in Community Development, will be giving this presentation. Just to preface this, the reason why this is before you is we haven't updated our ADU ordinance, accessory dwelling units, since 2021. Every year, there's new laws that are passed by the state that amend the rules for ADUs across the state, and we have to comply with those. Required to do so. So this is an effort to get into compliance with state law, but I'll pass the presentation on to Joshua.
Good evening, council members. My name is Joshua Valdez, Associate Planner for the City of Southgate Planning Division, and I'm here to present to you the proposed zoning code amendments to Southgate Municipal Code, Chapter 11.43, titled Accessory Dwelling Units and Accessory Structures. A brief background on our current municipal code. In January 2021, the city adopted Ordinance 2021-01-CC to establish Chapter 11.43 of the Southgate Municipal Code, which allows accessory dwelling units, ADUs, as required by Government Code Section 6585-2.2. Since then, the state law regarding ADUs and JDUs has continued to be modified as new bills are signed into law by the governor. These include Assembly Bill 345, Senate Bill 897, Assembly Bill 976, Senate Bill 477, and Senate Bill 1211. Over the course of this presentation, I'll be discussing how these state bills require staff to make amendments to the existing ADU code to ensure it is aligned with state requirements. On August 19, 2025, the proposed amendments were presented to Planning Commission. There were no objections to the proposed amendments by the commissioners, nor was there any public input during the meeting. Planning Commission voted 5-0, recommending approval of the proposed amendments to City Council. Summary of state law changes, starting with Assembly Bill 345, which amended Government Code Section 65852.26 to allow the separate conveyance of an ADU under specific conditions. This applies only if a qualified nonprofit corporation is allowed in a program that enables low-income families to buy the ADU with a no-interest loan to a qualified buyer. It also requires the definition of qualified nonprofit corporation and qualified buyer to ensure these specific criteria are met. Senate Bill 897 amended the state's ADU government code to require municipalities to only impose objective standards on ADUs that include but are not limited to parking, height, setback, landscape, architecture review, maximum size of a unit, and standards that prevent adverse impact on any real property that is listed in the California Register of Historical Resources. Assembly Bill 976 amended Government Code Section 65852.2 to remove the owner occupancy requirement for new ADU applications submitted after January 1st, 2025. This change limits the city's ability to impose restrictions that require the homeowner to live in either the main house or the ADU. Senate Bill 477 reorganized and classified existing state laws regarding ADUs and JDUs previously covered under Government Code Section 6585.2.2, 6585.2.22, 95852.23, and 65852.26. ADU regulations are now consolidated under Government Code Section 66310 through 66342 to improve coherence without substantive changes to the regulations. Lastly, Senate Bill 1211 amended Government Code Section 66323 to require municipalities to amend their ADU ordinance to allow up to 8 detached ADUs on multi-family parcels, provided the number of ADUs does not exceed the number of units on the lot. Next is an overview of how each section of the Southgate Municipal Code 11.43 is impacted by new state bills. As mentioned, SB 477 reorganized the existing ADU state laws under Government Code Section 66310 through 66342. Southgate Municipal Code 11.43.010 through 11.43.060 has been updated to reflect the appropriate Government Code sections. Similarly, Southgate Municipal Code Section 11.43.020 was updated to amend existing definitions and add new definitions to be consistent with Government Code Section 66313. Some of the amended definitions are for efficiency unit, livable space, and lot coverage, while adding definitions for qualified buyer and qualified nonprofit corporations, consisting with AB 345. Southgate Municipal Code 11.43.030's verbiage was amended as it relates to as it relates to setbacks, location placement, parking, heights, architectural review, maximum size of a unit, and to allow up to 8 detached ADUs on multifamily properties, provided the number of ADUs does not exceed the number of existing lots on the parcel, consistent with SB 897 and 1211. Similarly, Southgate Municipal Code Section 11.43.040 was amended to align with Government Code Section 66315, 66333, and 66341. These changes consist of amending the verbiage regarding non-conforming conditions, minimum ADU size, and JADU deed restrictions. Additions were also included to this code sections, in particular verbiage outlining the criteria needed to be met so an ADU may be sold or conveyed separately from the primary dwelling. Southgate Municipal Code Section 11.43.050 was amended to align with Government Code Section 66314, 66321, 66323, 66324, and 66315. These changes consisted of amending Government Code Section 11.050 to align the allowed floor area for an ADU with the state minimum required setbacks, increase the height limitations for ADUs, and parking requirements. The amendments also include codifying existing planning practices that allow for the expansion of an existing accessory structure located on parcels with a single-family dwelling up to 1,000 square feet, and adding architectural design standards to ensure that ADUs are architecturally compatible with the existing primary dwelling. All right. The verbiage contained in Southgate Municipal Code 11.43.060 regarding the ADU review process was amended to be consistent with Government Code Section 6317 and 66320. This is the last section of the ADU portion of Southgate Municipal Code Section 11.43. There is an additional code section contained within the chapter regarding accessory structures. Staff thought it appropriate to make a minor adjustment to Southgate Municipal 11.43.070 regarding the height of a detached garage. Currently, the code has a height limitation of 10 feet, which has made it difficult for some applicants to accommodate a garage with a pitched roof, leading to some garages to be proposed with flat roofs. As such, staff is proposing to amend this code to allow garages to have an additional 2 feet in height to accommodate a roof pitch that is aligned with the roof pitch of the primary structure, bringing the total height allowed for detached garages to 12 feet from grade to roof's pitch. All right. This next section of my presentation goes over different ADU configurations depending on parcel and existing structures. Starting with parcels with an existing or proposed single-family dwelling, applicants may have one JDU and either one attached or detached ADU. So here we have some sample ADU configurations. So an ADU or JDU is allowed within proposed space of an existing single-family dwelling or an accessory structure, and may include an expansion. As an alternative to, but not in addition to, an attached ADU on lots with existing or proposed single-family dwellings, one detached new construction ADU may be permitted, and that ADU may be combined with a JDU. So I'm gonna stay on this slide for a little bit so you guys could look at the configurations. Okay, so multifamily ADU configurations. On parcels with existing multifamily dwellings, applicants may have one attached ADU up to 25% of total number of existing units of multifamily units. Alternatively, on parcels with existing multifamily dwellings, applicants can propose up to 8 detached ADUs from the primary structure. On parcels with proposed multifamily dwellings, an applicant may propose up to 2 ADUs detached from the primary dwelling. So here we have some configurations of what that would look like. So for attached, at least one ADU shall be allowed within an existing multifamily structure, and up to a maximum of 25% of the existing multifamily dwelling units may be converted to ADUs. Multiple ADUs may be created within portions of existing multifamily dwelling structures that are not used as livable space, including but not limited to storage rooms, boiler rooms, passageways, attics, basements, or garages, if each unit complies with state building standards for dwellings. For detached ADUs on a lot with existing multifamily dwellings, not more than 8 detached ADUs may be allowed. However, the number of ADUs allowable pursuant to this clause shall not exceed the number of existing units on the lot. So I'm also just going to wait a little bit so you guys could look at the configurations. With that, staff recommends City Council waive the reading and introduce an ordinance amending Title 11, Chapter 11.43, Accessory Dwelling Units and Accessory Structures of the Southgate Municipal Code, and accept the determination that the proposed zone change amendment is exempt from California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, as a ministerial project pursuant to CEQA guidelines sections 1528A. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, you have any questions?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, if I may.
Yes, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you, Joshua, for your presentation. And I know this is difficult for residents to hear. We're in a community that's already overrun with difficulties with finding parking in our communities. We have residents that I hear from on a daily basis saying, I can't find parking in our community. We come home from work and we're having to drive around for hours, to find a parking space, or I have to park down the street or at a different block to find a parking space in order to be able to park and come home and have dinner. And this is one of the times where we're always pushing back with the state, and we're always trying to tell the state that they have to do better. When ADUs first came out, there was a requirement that they had to have parking spots on the property that where they were being built. Back in 2017, you were required to have a parking spot for every bedroom that you build. And then slowly, 2019, it became a parking spot for every parcel or every ADU that you build. Then in 2023, in SB 897, they just said you no longer require a parking spot if your ADU is within a half a mile of a bus stop. Well, tell me a property in the city of Southgate that's not a half a mile from a bus stop. Every property in Southgate, every property in Southeast Los Angeles is within a half mile of a bus stop, right? The state of California is saying we have a housing crisis, and I understand that there's a need for housing, but creating laws that continue to make it impossible for our residents to live comfortably because we're continuously trying to build on top of each other and force our residents to live congested in a congested community is just uncalled for. And you know, we had a recent you know, bill that our you know, our assembly members were voting on. I'm sorry, our state bill that they were voting on. And again, they're saying that housing is a priority in our community, but they want to make it so easy for these developers to be able to overpass local authority to say, no, wait, hold on, we need to be able to approve some of this stuff. They want to just say, no, sorry, we're just bringing housing. We're going to be able to bring as much as we want. And, you know, we need to continue to stand up and fight for this. And we need to continue to protect our residents when we're having this happen in our communities. So residents, you know, what we're doing today is something that we have to do. We're updating our policy to go with the state is requiring us to do, but know that we're on a daily basis reaching out to our assembly speakers, reaching out to our state representatives and saying, you guys need to do better. We cannot continue to just build on top of our residents. We just can't. We can't do that. And we can't just ask them to deal with the issues that they're dealing with. You know, we live here too. We're having to deal with this. And the city is doing what they can with offering programs like preferential parking. You know, if you live in a street that's having difficulty with finding parking and you want to solve that, come talk to us about preferential parking districts. It will require every car in that block to have to have a permit to be able to park there. And every house will only be given 2 parking permits per household. So all those apartment buildings that have 5, 6, 7 cars trying to live there, they won't be able to do that. Those ADUs, if they're trying to build ADUs, they won't be able to build it anymore, because how will they be able to park there? You know, we're, as a city, we're trying to find ways to be able to combat these things, and we're trying to find tools to be able to do that. And this is one of them. So, you know, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And with that, the amount of units that we have to, you know, that we have to comply with the RENA numbers, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Remind me the number, because I know it's 8,000 units.
8,282.
See, that's the number of units that we need to build. And that's, it's up in state. And again, it's just what our Vice Mayor just said, you know, we need to push our legislators to, you know, to fight for us. And they do. But unfortunately, you know, sometimes, I mean, they don't have the votes to pass any amendments. But again, you know, we have to follow regulations. And this is one part of a regulation. And parking is going to keep on getting worse and worse, and we need to build more units, and because we need to comply with the law. Anyone else?
Yeah, Mayor.
Go ahead, Vice Mayor. I mean, Vice Mayor
Rios.
Rios, Councilman Rios.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, I'll echo a lot of what the Vice Mayor Barone said. You know, thank you for the presentation, Mr. Valdez. I think the basic presentation for the folks that are following here, the discussion, and I'm sure they're well aware of the many ADUs that have occurred the last few years. And I think you have the numbers for us to kind of become more familiar with them. I hope you have, but I know it's been increasing, and which adds to the congestion in our traffic and our infrastructure and everything else. And we don't get any money for that. So it does create problems. But these rules basically loosen it up so that folks can build more ADUs. And a lot of the owners of the property they don't live too also here, right? Where they're building these. Some of them do, not all of them. And so it is creating issues of congestion, traffic, and parking. And then, like the Vice Mayor mentioned, the legislator just passed a bill that if the governor is sitting on the governor's desk, that is going to allow, where there's like within a half mile, if there's a metro, and that's everywhere here, that they could build 6-story buildings, housing. right on our neighborhood. So that's coming, folks. And they, you know, so and like everybody mentioned here, the other side of this is housing. Is there's not enough housing to house everybody, and it's expensive. And so the big problem is that you're not going to build. You know, folks want affordable housing, but that's not attractive for developers to build. It doesn't balance off. So they're building moderate income housing a lot of times, which is it's more expensive, and it's not going to serve our community, or at least benefit the residents. A lot of the residents that live here. But anyways, yeah, it's an ongoing situation, and I'm sure the public can weigh in on this too.
Councilman Hurtado.
Thank you. So again, the mayor mentioned the RENA numbers. Those are required numbers that we have to meet. And I like to do the comparison that I've brought up multiple times. The city of Jurupa has the same population as we do, roughly 100,000 people. Southgate is 7.5 square miles. Jurupa is roughly 46 square miles, or much, much bigger than we are. And yet, the numbers that we're required to come up with in terms of housing, 8,282, somebody has to explain how it is that in Jurupa, they only have to come up with 2,400 units, a fraction of what we have, yet we have no place to build. And, you know, we talked about some of the problems like parking, but there's other problems, overcrowded schools. You know, when I moved into Southgate, there were less than 70,000 people back in 1984. There's roughly 100,000 people. If you get 8,282 more units and you use a small family of just 3, you know, we're talking about a huge number, nearly 25,000 more people in our community. Where are we going to put all these people? We're going to put all these cars. What schools? How are they going to be, learning in overcrowded schools? And then jobs. These people who move into these areas, they're going to have to find a place to work. And everybody's going to be competing for the same jobs. And it's just a problem. And, you know, as we sit out here, our job is to address quality of life issues. But when you take that power away from, you know, our community, because we take orders from you. But this is one of those that if everybody here in Southgate were to say, no, don't support this, we have no choice. These are mandated by the state of California to pass them. And we understand and have a lot of sympathy for the need of housing. We get it. But we can't solve one problem while creating, you know, 3 or 4 others that are going to ruin the quality of life. And it was, as it was mentioned, I don't really have the numbers, but I can tell you a lot of the people who are building these ADUs and these apartments and all this, they don't live here. They probably live in areas where they don't have to, you know, worry about ADUs. If you lived in, you to go Beverly Hills, you go to West LA, or these areas where people have these big lots, you think they're going to build ADUs in their backyard? No. And we're being forced to do that. And it's usually in low-income communities and communities of color. And it's just a shame that all these things always get thrown on us. And so I guess once we bring it back to us to vote, the only thing we can do is apologize for what we've been
Right.
forced to do.
Let me go
Thank
ahead
you.
and open it to the audience. Josh, thank you for your presentation. At this time, anyone that would like to speak on this item, please come forward. Okay, being none, do we have any emails on this item?
No emails, Madam
No
Mayor.
emails. What's the wish of council?
Unfortunately, I have to make a motion to move forward with this.
Okay. We had a motion. Second, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hurtado,
Yes.
Councilmember Rios,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Barron,
Yes.
Mayor Davila.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Okay, at this time, I'm going to open the non-agenda items. Anyone would like to speak on anything that it's not on the agenda, please come forward. If you are going to speak, if you can please make a line on the side so we can know how many people are speaking. Okay, Remember, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead, sir. Is the light on? There you go.
There you go. Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, Councilman Rios, thank you for inviting me to be here today. My name is Steve Soto, and I've been writing poems, and I've been an author for over 60 years. I've been a guest poet columnist for the Desert Sun newspaper, a major newspaper that serves Palm Springs and the Coachella Valley. I've also written 4 books. I write on issues and feelings that I see in the world today. Right now, I see a lack of empathy and compassion, and I'm afraid our country has lost its moral compass. We are a country of laws and immigrants, and what's happening to our immigrants should be an affront to all Americans. Our checks and balances are out of balance. I've written this poem in response to our unconscionable treatment of immigrants, and I'd like to read it to you now. I called it Home of the Brave. People born in land of chains seek refuge where our freedom reigns. They walk in pain, they risk by boat, they risk their lives to cast a vote. Their journey's just so fraught with terror, they risk all lives because they care. No food, no drink, their lives in doubt, to think this was their safest route. They reach our shore in broken shape, ecstatic now that they've escaped. A great new life awaits them now, their children now safe somehow. Years pass by, they have a place. Life is hard for their one race. Kids have school and made some friends, but all their friends are just like them. They made a life, they scrape on by, can't get ahead even though they try. We have our jobs, don't make a fuss, but people smirk when look at us. We're not like them, it's just not right. We pay the price because we're not white. They tell us now to go back home. For decades now, this is our home. Home after work, a throw of the dice, because of masked armed men, now known as ICE. Committed no crime, I'm innocent, but they say deport me because I'm immigrant. Home of the brave, land of the free, maybe to some, but not you and me. Thank you for allowing me this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next one.
Hello, good afternoon, Council. My name is Manuel Carreras. I'm a Southgate resident. I'm just happy to be here. Unfortunately, I'm here because, as Mr. Barron pointed out, my hand. Just want to start off on Sunday. I woke up in the morning and I went to one of my bike to actually for a bike safety training at Sala Bicycle Center in the city of Bell. And just on the city of on Santana Street, I was heading eastbound and taking the lane as One Canyon, California. And there's a car behind me coming up. I scooted over to the side, and there's actually a lifted piece of concrete there around an inch and a half off the ground. My bike hit the tire. I fell forward, and I cracked my elbow, and my elbow is still currently dislocated. I'd like to live in a city where I could bike in my street, and I know bike lanes are a big ask. At the very least, I want streets that don't have potholes, that the street's not lifted off the ground, and that street specifically is very difficult. It's Santana between California and Otis. It is between Huntington Park and the city of Southgate. You can see the clear line where it separates Huntington Park and the city of Southgate. I ask that there is some calibration in place to make this kind of pavement, not by two separate companies, but by the same one, where we could actually not have to jump over these kind of lines. I have sent an email to the city manager just right now, so with the location where it was and some photos. And yeah, I am in a lot of pain, and that kind of sucks. And I would like to have kids also be able to bike our streets. So with this, I ask that we have our streets fixed, and not just our streets, but also our street lights. There's some consistency with street light colors and street lights across the city. We recently took a bike ride across the city over the Sala Bicycle Center. Noche en Ruedas. We invite you to come on our bike rides. We're gonna have a monthly, and we noticed a lot of the streets. It's really interesting seeing as you bike around the city, cities have proper roads, like the city of Cudahy just paved. So those were smooth roads. And you enter the city of Honeyam Park and you go to. So those are kind of things that kind of stick with us, you know? And as we move forward, especially with Metro coming into town, we're looking at different ways of mobility. And you'll have talked about half a mile from metro stations, and it's also about creating walkable communities, those spaces that actually are accessible for people to be able to come in and have Southgate become their home. That is all. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carlos Gonzalez Jr. I am a resident here of Southgate. The reason that I'm standing here in front of you guys is I'm one of the parents and one of the volunteers speaking on behalf of the American Youth Soccer Organization, also known as the AYSO. So the AYSO, it's a league for children, maybe the youngest age from 3 to 4 years of age, all the way to 15, 16 years of age. The city of Southgate has a league at Holidale Park. The only negative thing about that park is there's no lightning. Me, as a full-time worker, I've been a cop for over 21 years with the Orange County Sheriff's Department. I volunteer, I assist the coaches and the parents there, and I take care of the kids there while we're practicing with them. It's just there is no lightning there. All we're asking is if you guys could do anything, maybe provide some lightning for these children. That'll be very helpful for them. Other than that, I mean, you guys have a great evening. I just wanted to speak on behalf of the AYSO. That's the only negative incident that we have there at the park. Other than that, I mean, it's a great facility to actually practice and play the soccer games, but it's just a lightning. And like I stated earlier, a lot of parents volunteer. They have full-time jobs. And I mean, a lot of the teams don't host practices till like 6 o'clock and above. But due to daylight time savings, it's dark already. So if you guys could just please consider that. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night.
Next, go ahead.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Heidi Portillo, and this is my son who is an AYSO. And I also have a statement prepared from other families in AYSO that I would like to share. So I am speaking on behalf of the AYSO soccer program to address the ongoing issue that is impacting our players, families, and communities. Currently, our soccer teams do not have access to adequate lighting at Holidale Park. This lack of lighting prevents us from holding practices and games during the evening hours, which are often the only available time for many students and families. Before the pandemic, we had access to Southgate Park, where lighting made it possible for our program to run smoothly. Since that time, our access has been denied, and priority has been shifted towards baseball. We fully respect and support all youth sport programs in our community, but the lack of lighting has created an unequal situation where soccer players, hundreds of children in our program, are left without a safe and instructed environment to play. As you know, AYSO provides students with not only physical activity, but also teamwork, discipline, and a positive alternative to unsafe or unproductive activities outside of school, something I want for my son. We would like to understand what options are available to us regarding lighting for our program, whether it be through restoring shared access to Southgate Park, installing or activating lighting at Holidale Park, or working together on a scheduling solution. We are eager to collaborate and find paths towards the supports that need for all children in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
¿Puedo hablar en español?
Sí, nomás dele tiempo a la traductora para que
¿Pausa?
le traduzca.
Ok. Mi nombre es Sergio Sánchez.
Puede hablar en el
Ok.
micrófono.
Buenas noches primero. Mi
Good
nombre
evening,
es
first
Sergio
of all.
Sánchez.
My name is Hector Sanchez.
Mi hijo juega para AYSO.
My son also plays for AYSO.
pues ya ahorita los dos papás anteriores han comentado lo de la luz, pero hay otras cosas también
The
importantes.
previous parents already mentioned the lighting problem, but there's other issues that are also important,
Como los baños.
like the bathrooms,
El baño de los hombres específicamente tiene una
specifically
sola taza
the men's bathroom
y dos migatorios
only has one toilet
sin puerta.
without a door.
Este sábado entré con mi niño estuvo a nada de vomitarse, de
This
que
last Saturday, I went in there with my child
estaba demasiado sucio.
and he was about to vomit because it was so filthy.
El programa alberga más de 400 niños.
The program is for over 400 kids.
Entonces, imagínate, a la misma hora
So,
hay más de
at the same-
200 niños.
At the same time, with just one bathroom, imagine that.
Y se necesitan más baños, un
There's-
poco más de privacidad para la
There's
persona que
a need
está.
for more bathrooms and with more privacy.
Y más que nada, también sobre lo que dicen de la luz.
More than anything,
Yo
also
soy una persona que trabaja, sale hasta las 5 de la tarde.
regarding the lighting issue, I, for instance, work full time. By the time I come out of work,
Entonces, a veces se necesita que la práctica comience a las 6 de la tarde.
at times the training only starts at after 6 p.m.
Ahora que se viene el cambio de horario,
And now
no
that
podemos practicar.
that the time is changing, it will be dark before we even start practicing.
Y muchos papás viven lo mismo que yo vivo.
And the same situation applies to many parents like I do.
Entonces necesitamos el apoyo de la ciudad de Southgate.
And we really need your support
luz.
for the city of Southgate regarding the lighting.
Siento que siempre, yo tengo aquí 20 años de residente en Southgate, siento que siempre ha habido más apoyo para el béisbol.
I've been living here in Southgate for over 20 years, and I feel that baseball has always gotten more support.
Entonces, me gustaría que hubiera el mismo apoyo para el fútbol, para los niños,
I would like to see that the same support is given also to the kids for soccer,
ya que el programa es todos voluntario, todos los papás ponemos nuestro esfuerzo.
considering that the program is all on a voluntary basis and all the parents are showing our support.
Entonces nos gustaría contar con su apoyo
We would
para
like to count
tener
on your support
unas mejores recursos para los niños,
to have
tanto,
better
como en
resources for the kids
tanto con la luz como con los baños.
with both issues, the lighting and the bathrooms.
Es todo. Muchas gracias.
That's it. Thank you
Gracias.
very much.
Igualmente, voy a hablar español.
The same
Ven la
thing. I'm
voz.
going to go with the translation.
Primeramente, buenas noches, miembros del consejo.
First of all, good night.
Igual que
Good evening, all.
mi nombre es Mario Sánchez. él es
My
mi
name is
hermano.
Mario Sanchez.
Mis hijos
These are my
son
kids,
miembros del
also
programa de
members of
YSO.
AYSO.
Y quiero recalcar en algo que dijo el concejal Gil Hurtado,
I want to.
de que saquemos los niños del graffiti. Esta es una buena manera de sacar los niños del graffiti
Okay,
y de
okay,
las
señor, me
calles.
tiene que dar pausa para traducirle.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I want to go back to what Councilmember Hurtado had said about graffiti, how to take kids away from causing graffiti. Okay, AYSO soccer is a way of keeping kids away from causing graffiti.
Yo soy coach y tengo coach de los dos niños.
I'm a
Practico los
coach of
4
both
días.
kids.
Y ahorita estoy teniendo problema porque la mayoría de mis niños me llegan hasta las 6:30.
And the problem that I'm having is that most kids arrive until after 6:30 p.m.
Solo tenemos 40 minutos máximos porque ya está oscuras.
And so we only have about 30 minutes of practice
Y
because then it
tenemos-
gets dark.
Tenemos un gran problema con eso, las luces. Y
We have a huge problem with the lighting issue.
el año pasado le pusieron luces a los de fútbol americano.
And last year, the football practice or football team got the lighting,
Son luces portátiles grandes.
the temporary
Y
or portable
Queríamos saber
kind.
si eso puede ser proporcionado para nosotros.
Maybe that could be also the solution for us,
Tengo
something equivalent.
3 años permaneciendo para YSO
I've been there at YSO for over 3 years now.
y ese es el problema que hemos tenido los
And all
3
along,
años.
that's the problem we've been having all through those years.
Tenemos que andar cargando generadores
We have to be bringing
para
our
poner nuestras
generators,
propias luces, pero no es igual.
but it's not the same thing.
Los niños se siguen lastimando, se golpean
The
porque
kids
la luz
sometimes
no es
get
igual.
injured, they get hit.
Y me gustaría pues que si hay apoyo para
I would like to
otros
request
deportes,
your support
nos ayudaran también a nosotros, porque
if you
esta es
can
una
help us too,
manera importante de sacarlos de las calles.
because this is an
del
important
graffiti.
way of keeping them out of the streets.
Ok, eso es todo. Buenas
Muchas
noches.
gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you. Next.
Good evening. My name is Consuelo Godoy. I'm resident of Southgate since 1974. We moved here, my husband, Junior was a year old. And like you know, Mr. Godoy is no longer here. And if he was here, he would say, you only come when you need something or when you want something. So today I'm coming to you guys because I do want something. I had spoke to Steve about putting his name in something. He suggests a bench. Thank you, Steve. But my petition to you guys is to put a flagpole and a flag going straight to those steps, either side, when you come into the water department, no, not the water department, where you pay your bills. When he was in the hospital, the thing he's told me, don't forget to pay the water bill, because it was already there. And yes, I did it, and I still do it. So I'm not going to tell you, for the ones that know him, that he was a good person. No, he wasn't. You can ask them. He was here before 6 o'clock, and he left sometimes after 12 o'clock because those days the meetings were long. Him and Virginia, they thought they bought that place right there because they didn't let nobody sit there. It was just those two. And I bet you, I wonder they're doing the same thing over there, but okay, that's not for me to judge. But I thought I was going to use boxes of clinics, but I think I'm doing okay so far. So if it's possible, like I say, if you need more, not information, but the reason that I'm asking this, because he was a member of the BFW, commander for 20-something years, post-commander, member of the American Legion, member of the Fraternal Order of Eagles. His heart was with the ROTC. I think they came before me because it was like them first. We used to take them to the VA hospital in Long Beach because they were volunteer. And like I say, the ones that knew him, you know. So
yes,
I've been a resident for 51 years here. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Appreciate that.
Can I add something else? If there's any cost to put the pole in the flag, just let me know, okay?
Thank you. And in those two seats right there, they're still empty.
That's why I'm not
Because they're
sitting
still there. They're still there. Okay, next speaker, please.
Hi, how you guys doing? Just to touch on what everybody said already as far
Can
as
we
the
have your
AY
name, please?
Juan Contreras.
Thank you.
Just of the AYS organization. To touch on the restroom part, just imagine if you guys go to the park for whatever reason, you guys are having a picnic, just a regular day with your family, and you have to walk into those conditions in the restrooms. If you have young children and grandchildren, if that's a restroom you would like for your grandchildren and children to use, just keep that in mind if you guys ever get the chance to go that way. Also, the lights, right? The lights is a big issue, but more importantly, it's about representing our city, right? Because at the end of the day, we go out there and we say, we're from the city of Southgate, right? And to take that away kind of set us back in competing with other cities all over or around us. It's not just away from us, from the parents, but from the kids growing up and having that pride instilled with them since they're little kids. Because you see kids from 4 or 5 years old all the way until they're 16, 17, I know you guys see, I know if you guys are from Southgate, right? Well, most of you guys, there's a lot of talent that leaves from Southgate. Why? Because it's the things we need to be successful sometimes aren't provided, and maybe because sometimes we don't speak up for ourselves. But just soccer is a big sport here in the city of Southgate, and I know it's not just soccer, but just kind of keep that in the way to kind of don't leave it behind and support it again, because I've gone out to represent the city of Southgate to against Portland, Nevada, Utah, and Seattle. And trust me, I see people Googling right away, where are you guys coming from? The city of Southgate. And it's all based coming from soccer. We have kids traveling out, and they're so proud for wearing our badge that we have for our organization of AYSO Soccer, city of Southgate. And we wear it with a big, high honor. And we like to continue that. And hopefully we can still compete at a high level, but we can't do it without the lights. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Again, I've been here for over 2 decades in the city of Southgate, and I love representing this city. And I want to continue that. And hopefully there's generations behind me that would have the same privilege.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. So is there anyone else? I'm going to close the audience. And do we have any emails?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we have 2 emails. First one is from Mr. Dominguez, who points to Bellflower's 2.5-mile bike trail and asks that why Southgate can't develop a similar trail along Southern Avenue, noting the city is not bike-friendly and the gate buses lack bike racks, making bridge crossings unsafe and limiting access to east side parks. He urges the city to prioritize bicycle infrastructure, specifically at Southern Avenue Bike Trail, and racks on the gate buses to improve safety and connectivity. The second email is from a resident, Claudia Rivera, who states she ran out of time last meeting and is writing questioning Councilmember Pilar Avalos's character for proposing Robert Montalvo to the Parks Commission. She says that her prepared remarks come across as condescending to residents. She alleges that Commissioner affiliation with Councilmember Al Rios as a known sexual harasser and criticized him for not taking action on that. She notes a widening divide in the council and says her family will no longer support Councilmember Avalos and Councilmember Al Rios. She closes with a point commenting that in her view, Councilmember Al Rios' spirit animal is a jellyfish. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And regarding one of the questions, and I know that we can all talk about it, but Steve, I do want to know, when was the last time we had those restrooms without doors? I think we need to check on that because we definitely need to make sure that they are clean and also that we have doors, because we do have kids going in there and we want to make sure that they're safe.
Madam Mayor, I will definitely check on the cleanliness portion of the whole thing here. Our problem happens to be at Hollydale Regional Park is a park that is farther away from the community and next to our riverbeds. And every time that we have put what we would consider partition doors and things on those, they get stolen. They get ripped off, they get broken. We have put thousands of dollars into doors, and they come within months, they end up being broken by our local homeless or others. So we've had to go to more of a generic style into those restrooms a lot of time. And it seems to be mostly, and the AYSO people can probably confirm this for me, it's mostly in the men's side, right? Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Right. But it's part of our problems in life is we keep going through that process. And as we've had to kind of just go down to a bare minimum usage formula on the whole thing because of vandalism across the board. We can look and we'll talk with some of our people in the restroom industry that we deal with to see if there's something new and improved out there in the world that we can do to them. But we have tried many a thing, and our problem tends to be more in vandalism than in wanting to put things up. We put them, but we end up with issues every time.
All right, thank you. Reports, Arturo?
Yes, Mayor, I can just address the question with regards to the condition of the sidewalks on Santa Ana. Just to mention, the city of Southgate's got a sidewalk maintenance program that is very aggressive through either CIP, daily sidewalk maintenance by staff, where we're grinding sidewalk and we're replacing sidewalk. It's just that we're unable to compete against a number of trees that continue to cause those uplifts. But we'll take a look at Santa Ana to see how soon we can address that. I do want to announce that at the next council meeting, our goal is to present a new program to the city council with regards to how we maintain our sidewalks, where our goal is going to be to put our sidewalk citywide on a routine maintenance cycle so that every so many years we can go through the entire city and address all the uplifts. That contract is going to help us either grind all sidewalk or ramp it. So our goal is to do as much as possible. But so we're doing a lot. There is a new program coming into town that hopefully we can address these conditions that the residents spoke about today. That's all I have.
Okay, and for now, can you make sure you go and check those streets?
Absolutely.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
can I
go
make a
ahead.
real quick comment? Just for the people who are not familiar with the process here tonight, the items that were discussed by the residents on non-agendized items, we are prohibited by law to take action tonight on that. So again, if you're looking for us to respond and come up with a solution that it's not on the agenda, so we can't do that. We might touch very briefly, and we're also prohibited by law from a lot of us commenting on that. So again, if you see us not responding to you, I apologize, but that's the law. So I just want to make sure that that's understood.
Right. It's not that we don't want to respond, it's that we can. We are here to listen to your concerns and staff are going to look into it. But we have everything written down. So, so with that, we need to continue with the meeting, but we heard what you guys are asking for. Okay?
And
All right,
Mayor,
thank you. Yes,
if
go
I
ahead.
could, usually if there's a concern with any of our groups using our fields, and there's an ability to communicate to our staff members and ultimately to Steve Costley, our Parks and Rec director, that's usually a great flow. And then if it doesn't work out there, it comes to me. If it doesn't work out there, it comes to council. But it can come to council, but ultimately our staff would need to work on this. So if Steve knows some of the contacts for AYSO, or anyone wanted to submit their phone number for Steve to have more communication on this, that would probably be a good next step. But Steve, are you familiar with some of the folks there as far as making connections?
Yes, we have liaisons to the whole AYSO group that we can.
Okay, if you can
talk with,
contact them. Okay. Do you have any further reports on parks?
Oh, yes, we're Parks and Rec. We always have something.
Oh.
You know? So, couple things. First of all, thanks to those who were able to come by as we opened the new teen room at the girls' clubhouse area. It is a fun place for the teens to hang out. We've already gotten a core group, about 8 kids from the middle school who show up on a regular basis. So it's a fun room and some fun stuff happening. Second, October 4th, we will be having the art walk, but for the first time for the art walk, it will get moved over to Southgate Park. If you've been here before, you've seen the art walk outside of City Hall. Always a great location, but we've kind of outgrown it a little. We're getting a little tight. So it will be in front of the auditorium on October 4th. Come out for that. Second, you're all invited. We'll have out invitations later, but the public is also invited as we will open our newest renovated park, Circle Park, 4 p.m. on October 13th. Come on down. It will be a fun little ceremony to open it up. We will show off the park. It will be pretty quick because it gets a little dark there too. But we'll do that starting October 13th. And last thing is just for all the residents, Halloween this year, Friday, October 31st, 6 o'clock start. And due to different changes that we had for our 4th of July, we will be having a fireworks show as part of our Halloween event. So 8:45, we'll have a fireworks show going on as the conclusion of our Halloween event.
Thank you. Gabriel.
Madam Mayor, Council, no updates from community development.
Thank you. Luis?
Good evening. No updates from me.
John?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. No updates from Human Resources.
Chief?
Just two items. We have our third annual Southgate Classic Car Show coming up this Saturday, so the community is invited. Just to give you a little history about this, many years ago, myself, I'm a car and a bike enthusiast. I met with the colleagues at Public Works, a couple of guys at Public Works. They have cars, and we've been talking about this for years and years and years. We wanted to do a car show on Tweedy Boulevard back in like 2000. And of course, I wasn't the chief then, so I couldn't make anything happen, right? I would answer to people. So finally, we got to the point where we said, let's put together a car show, and with the money that we raise there can help our Christmas events, and then part of that will help Public Works with their Christmas events as well. And you've all been there, and you've seen how successful it is, and it's really a great community event that so many have given us praise for. So it's a staple program that we're glad to get back to the community. We're hoping for good weather. I know it's going to be a little overcast, but no rain. So if you get an opportunity, come out and see some nice classic cars and some bikes, and we'll have some vendors out there and some music. So it'll be a good event. Starts at 10 o'clock, and trophies will be given out at 3 p.m., including the Mayor's Award. Also, the last thing is tomorrow we are taking possession of our second Harley-Davidson motorcycle, courtesy of Office of Traffic Safety. So it's our second traffic motorcycle that we were able to acquire through grant funds. So it's ready for us to pick it up. And of course, the chief likes Harley, so he gets to ride it from the late lost Harley-Davidson back to the station. So we're going to do a video to announce it to the public that, we're looking for grant funding opportunities. We also have a truck coming through the state as well, funded by the state. So we're looking for those opportunities. But this motorcycle is going to be a good addition to the traffic division.
Nice.
And that's all I have.
Nice. Looking forward to the car show and looking at the Harley. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. Just piggybacking on the concept for those coming to voice their concerns that are non-agendized public comments. If you're new here, your comments are heard. As I mentioned, Steve Costley, through our Parks and Rec and the AYSO liaison, can have further dialogue with you on that item. It's not on our agenda, so we don't have a way to solve it the way our rules work. But I will just say we do have limitations, a number of them, when it comes to our city on that particular property being an Edison easement with power lines. There are limitations to where you can put, or if you can even put, any type of lighting, metal poles, where they're located. It's not our land, a lot of it. It has this, we're sort of there by permission, and they have all sorts of liability issues that within many, many feet of their wires, you can't put anything metal. And so there's limitations on that location. And even then the cost of install, right now our city is in a, essentially a fiscal crisis for our budget. And so we are struggling to find ways to do many of the things in our city that are needed. We talked about graffiti abatement. We talked about sidewalk, street repairs, street lights, adding new lights to a feature, maybe, building new restrooms. All these things take a lot of funding, and our city's currently in a deficit. So we have a multi-million-dollar deficit that we have to solve. So the tough part right now is figuring out how to maintain our current services before we can even think about adding new features. But it is the goal of our council and of our community, I think, to keep improving and not be stuck falling backwards. And so that's the struggle our team is having as a group, to work together to find ways to get enough funding for all these requests that our community wants, the improvements that the community deserves. And so over the next number of months, you'll see opportunities for workshops to learn more about our budget, talk about how we could try to fix these problems, what partnerships we may have to do together to find more revenue. And it's a battle that I know we'll get through and we'll win, but for now, do know it's a struggle. It's not a lack of care or a lack of desire for improvements to be made at the community, but it can be a lack of resources. So if we can brainstorm some temporary things, we're going to try to do that, but do know it's a bigger battle that we do need to fight in the near future to get more revenue for the city. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager. City Attorney?
I gave my time to the city manager.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
City Treasurer?
Madam Mayor, no new items to report.
Thank you. City Clerk?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to let our residents know that we at the city clerk's office process passports. And we not only do it for our residents, but we do it for anyone that would come in. We do it by appointment. So we currently have appointments from 9 to 12. However, we've seen a decline in our passports. So we would like to offer our residents more time. I've heard from a couple that they are afraid because of raids that are going on to leave their homes in the morning. So we want to open it up to afternoon appointments also. So we will be having appointments available beginning Monday from 2 to 5 p.m. So 9 to 12 and then 2 to 5. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Rios?
Mayor. All right, I just piggyback on that. Since the community from Holydale came over, and I just want to explore possibilities. Like they said, we can't make some decisions today, but I think because of the Edison, the lighting at that place, maybe we could look at other location that has lighting already in one of our parks, or working with LA Unified. I know we're talking about a memorandum with Legacy. We already have a MOU. So if they're not using it certain days, maybe, to address the issue, maybe I'm just going to explore some ideas that we could look at, because we do have access to other facilities that have lighting, and maybe we could explore that, since it seems like with Edison, that's going to be a difficult challenge over there. And then the other thing is, we had a tragedy there not too long ago. A woman was killed in those restrooms over there and at Holydale. And, I'm wondering that, security, I think it's a park. Do we have staff there? Besides, no staff at all. So it's a beautiful park. It's along the river. Yeah, and there's probably issues with homelessness around there. But I think we have to, we are upgrading some of it too, right? I think we are. No, not right now, but it's still a grandiose park. And I know that here at our main park in Tweedy and Hildred, it's already kind of impacted with a lot of folks and activity. So I think and then I think, Steve, you said it's way out, so we don't get out there that much. I think it's important that, I know it's on the other side of the bridge, and I think that's what that side of the community feels, that sometimes we don't get out there, and it is part of the community. So, we have to figure out a way, and it's from time to time that has been an issue, so that we have to figure out that is part of our community, and we need to kind of, I know most of the investment is on the main park here, but we have other parks too. We have 9 other parks, and we've just added another park. So issues of staffing and budget are a concern, but I think that's the second largest park here. And I think we owe it to the community. I wonder if those residents live in that area and they would like to stay there. But I know the lighting might be a tough issue. But I think we should explore that. I think that community is quite a big community, and there's a lot of young people there. And if we could do anything, we have to look at all our options. So I just want to throw that out there. Let's see what else. Okay. And keep coming back, folks. So we'll see how we can make something happen to address that. And I know the time change is going to make it difficult, but whatever we could do, working together, we could find a way. Steve left, the gentleman Mr. Soto, who read the poem. I thought was really nice. Let's see. I attended a water workshop this past week, reporting out, and I know a lot of us, water is very important. I don't know if all of you know that 2/3 of our water comes from Northern California, so they have to bring it down. And I've heard that the water is going. I think LA Department of Water and Power. The water is going to go up. price is going to go up. And that is going to affect us too, right, Steve? I mean, Arturo, I think when the big ones they raise their prices, the big water distributors, then that affects us. So I'm seeing that, so it is a concern. I'm going to keep. I think Bill DeWitt, a former councilman, used to be the guru in water. I think that's an important thing. We should stay on top of it. It's an important commodity, so I'll continue to attend informational workshops on that. For the seniors, like some of us here, and you didn't mention this, Steve, there's at the senior center on Friday, you're having a senior adult transportation pop-up. Want to talk about a little bit about that? Because I think that's important for the seniors that are here.
Yes, this Friday we'll be connecting our seniors with our Metro group and our local bus and services for Dial-A-Ride, for our gate buses, for the local, for Metro, for the bigger ones. It will be an overall session from a lot of our Metro people to talk about the different access points for seniors. As we know, as you get older, sometimes you're not allowed to drive anymore, and it's important to find different modes to go get to different places. And so these are some of the conversations we'll be having on that day.
So that's a great, and I think it's Friday, what time to what time in the morning? It's like from.
I do not know off the top of my head.
Yeah, you check our webpage. I think it's in the morning, but it's a great opportunity to bring some of the folks that are 55 and older that can take advantage of these programs. And finally, I just want to say that, there's a lot going on in our society in America, and it has to do with the institutions that we so dear honor. I mean, we have and I'm thinking in terms of what's going on at the federal level. I just want to make my comments. The courts have been threatened, lawyers, law firms have been threatened, universities, our healthcare, even our elections. We're having redistricting going on. Our relationship in the world, our leadership role in the world, in the world politics is also changing. We're not the beacon right now that everybody look forward to. So there's a lot of things going on that are threatening our civil liberties, our freedoms, especially the immigrant community. And it's sad that this country, known to be always welcoming of immigrants, is now the opposite, and it's sad. Because a lot of us have families. Everybody, I don't know who isn't an immigrant here. Everybody's come from somewhere here, so it's sad that we're experiencing this. I think some of us can say, okay, some of the folks that are criminals, yeah, okay, but it's gone beyond that. I think we know that already. Even our media has been threatened, institutions. I mean, we're seeing that. So, just freedom of speech. Gee, I mean, I'm saying this because I'm really sad and I feel threatened. And I think if we don't come together as a community, as Americans and as immigrants, that we're gonna lose. We're going to lose our leadership, and what we do, what we mean to the rest of the world. And just wanted to say that. But anyways, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Right. And the older, the transportation pop-up for seniors, it's from 9:30 to 11:30. Councilman Hurtado.
Yeah, a couple of things. I've been addressing this issue with the Southgate PD. Over the last month, some of the homeless over by the riverbed have been just going, celebrating something, but they're popping this very loud fireworks, and a lot of people have been complaining about that. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of it. And I think because of the way the riverbed is set up, it echoes pretty loud. So they could be maybe a half mile away and it still sounds real loud. So if we can continue to work on that, I would appreciate that. Connie, Nick was very nice to me. And maybe that's all I care about, but I think a lot of people thought he was really nice. And God bless him. He served our country honorably, and we should remember him that way. So I don't know about how you feel about him, but he was a good guy. Okay, so the rest of us see it that way. And yeah, we're going to have to move him. That's your fault. That's your fault, not mine. Again, we can't touch a lot on the stuff with AYSO, but I will say this. God bless you guys that are out there volunteering and the parents who are supporting the children. I'm not sure if it was because so last week on Monday I tested, well, actually I was sick on Monday. Tuesday morning I woke up and I decided to test myself. And I was going to wait 15 minutes for the little 2 lines to show up to see if I had it. I didn't have to wait 15 minutes. Almost as soon as I dropped the little drops in there, the 2 little lines came up. I said, oh no, do I have it that bad because I had COVID? But luckily by Friday, it was gone. Saturday, I decided I'm going to take a bike ride down the riverbed. My wife was mad. She doesn't get mad at me too much, but she did. She thought it was unhealthy because I'm recovering from COVID. I'm a survivor of a heart attack, and it's hot, and I'm going down the riverbed. And I went as far as Alondra, and I was pooped. But I had to come back, so I had to ride the other 5 miles back. And I'm not sure if it was because I was tired or because I loved what I was watching. The kids playing out there at Holidale Park, the soccer games, phenomenal. Those little kids can go back and forth and not be bothered by the heat or anything like that. So keep on doing what you're doing with the children out there. Because it does do a lot more, not just the graffiti thing, but it prepares them for other activities. Some of them might want to play soccer for their high school, maybe a college. But what do we have coming next year? The World Cup, right? And I think LA is one of the cities, right, that they're going to do. So we don't know what activities are going to be out here. But it's going to be an exciting time for people who are into soccer. So again, I hope that we can help solve some of the problems that are going out there. One of the emails that we got talked about bike racks. I've actually been working with a friend of mine who is a representative or consultant for the bus route. And I asked them about the possibility of bike racks. And he explained to me, and maybe you can follow up on this a little bit, Steve, but because the way the bus is set up, they can't really put like a permanent rack, but they're going to see if they can put a temporary one. And yeah, there's some people on this side who want to go to the other side on their bike, but they find it too difficult, too dangerous to go over Firestone or Imperial Highway with their bike. So again, we need to follow up on that. So I'm going to speak for myself. I actually do spend a lot of time everywhere in the city of Southgate, and so I see a lot of things. So again, I don't agree with the assessment that maybe we're not spending a lot of time or money out there. We just did Garfield Avenue, right, Arturo? How long ago did we finish that?
Garfield Avenue?
Out there in Holiday.
Probably a few months ago.
A few months ago. Steve, we just finished Industrial Park. How much money did we spend on that, and how long ago was that?
We finished Industrial Park in January, and we spent a little over $6 million.
Right. So we do spend time, and we do, because I hear it. When I'm on this side of town, people say, oh, you guys spend all your money in Holidale. And I go to Holidale and say, oh, you guys don't care about us. We're the forgotten brother or whatever. And you spend all the money on the other side. But no, we actually do everything we can to try to deal with both sides. And we try to be fair on both sides. But there's a lot of activities going on. In fact, we're working with someone, we're talking about a car show this weekend. We're working on a car show that's going to take place hopefully in the Holidale area. Steve, I don't know if you have details, because I know you're working with the
Moose Lodge is looking at putting on a car show at Holidale Regional Park north of Monroe on the 18th of October. The plans that's the current plans. They haven't finished everything yet, but they are working on it.
So we're trying to bring some programs out there, and then there's going to be Halloween activities out there still. Is that correct?
We will be partnering with Hollydale Elementary School to do their trunk or treat. And then Hollydale Community Park will have a Halloween event on October 25th. That's a Saturday. And then we will be having the big Halloween event at Southgate Park on the 31st.
Right. So those of you that are on the Hollydale side, I don't want you to leave here saying, hey, they don't care about us, and they just said that at the meeting. No, because that's not true. We actually try our very best to listen to everybody in the community. And again, I will continue to do that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and first start off by saying thank you guys for being here, AYSO, and thank you for volunteering for your programs. I've been a long time volunteer coach. I volunteered at AYSO and there in Southgate for many years when my daughters were small, under Enrique at the time when he was the president of the organization. And I currently am a longtime volunteer for over 20 years with the JAA program as well, with baseball and softball, coaching my daughter's softball teams, and flag football as well. So I know the commitment that it takes to be a volunteer in a program, and what it takes to the hours that it takes to be able to do that. But know that the impact that you cause and the impact that you provide for our family and for the kids is everlasting, and that's why we keep doing it. And so just from the city of Southgate and for me personally, thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for being out there for your family. It's a great impact that you're doing that's going to last forever, and it's memories that you're making, because I know the majority of you coaches out there, you're out there because your kids are probably playing on the teams, and those are memories that you'll never be able to get back. I have a daughter that's 20 years old that I coached from 6 years old all the way till she played travel ball, and she's currently a college softball player. And what I do to be able to hit her a ground ball here and there, and sometimes on Sunday or during the weekends, I'll be at Southgate Park doing that, hitting ground balls to her just because I miss it, or pitching her, front toss just to see her hit the ball because I miss it, So enjoy it while you can, but thank you for doing what you do. And just know that we are, we hear what the issues are. I know I've spoken to the president of the AYSO not too long ago, probably about a couple weeks ago, where she was letting me know that there was issues with the lights now that the time change was happening. And we are looking for solutions. As you heard from our city manager, there are issues with the lights there because of the light poles there. But you're right, there are other properties in our city that we have, especially with LAUSD being partners with us, that we should be able to partner with and be able to use during some times, especially in the fall when we have this issue. We don't have this issue in the spring. You guys are able to practice, like normal in the spring at Hollydale. So it's really just this time of the year that we really need to figure out. And we're right. Like, we have students that are eventually going to be our high school soccer players. They're eventually, you guys have select teams. I think I saw on your website, you have select teams on your AYSO. Now, these are important teams that we got to make sure we keep playing year round, so that way they're prepared to compete in those select tournaments, all year round. So, I understand the need there. So definitely just know that you have a support here, and we'll figure out a solution there, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. But thank you again for being part of that program, and just know that we're here for you guys. Go ahead and put on my Sella Kiwanis hat, if I could, for a second, Madam Mayor. As you know, I'm the president for the Sella Kiwanis. On September 30th, and I think I have some high school students here. On September 30th, the Sella Kiwanis, in partnership with the city of Southgate, we're going to be hosting a college and career fair at the Southgate Auditorium. We have over 20 colleges and universities that are going to be present, along with trade and unions. So it's open to any high school student to come and learn about all the colleges that are going to be there. We have all the community colleges in the area. They're going to be presenting their CTE programs, all their career technical education programs. to be able to provide students with the opportunity to learn about the certification programs. It's also going to be a great place to learn about the apprenticeship programs through our unions. The Western Union, the Western Carpenters Union will be there, and also the Electrical Union will be there, just so they can learn about some of the trades that we have to offer in locally. So I urge all the high school students that are here, please spread the word. Follow us on selakiwanis.org. There is scholarship opportunities. All you have to do is show up, register, write a one-page essay about your experience at the college fair, and you're automatically entered into a scholarship opportunity. And I'd like to thank Supervisor Janice Hahn and Assembly Member Salache for their contribution to the event for the scholarship opportunities that we're going to be able to offer on that day. So please be there on September 30th. Also, along with,
Can you say the time?
oh yes, it's from 5 to 8 p.m. September 30th. So we did it in the evening so that way families can go. We're also very important. We're going to have Unite LA is going to be there doing financial aid resources. So for families having difficulty managing the process of financial aid and the FAFSA form, they'll be there to kind of walk families through. They'll give you a checklist of what you're going to need to have for when you fill out those forms. And it's just a great resource. So I know as a parent that's had to go start filling out those forms for 2 students, they're very confusing. They've changed. They said they made it easier, but they've actually kind of made it a little harder. So it's a great resource. So please, if you can, be there. Also on October 4th, the Sela Kiwanis is hosting a car show as a fundraiser in the city of Bell Gardens. We're doing it's a classic 1960s and older car show in Ford Park in the city of Bell Gardens. It is 100% going towards college scholarships. All funds raised is going to college scholarships for students in the Sela region. So any student, any high school student, anywhere in the Sela region. So that's Huntington Park, Southgate, Bell Gardens, Linwood. It'll be eligible to receive those scholarship funds through our programming there in the Sela Kiwani. So it's a great fundraiser. It's a great event. We have some great cars there. So great opportunity for that. I had the opportunity to visit the Western Carpenters Union Center in Carson. It's a very impressive location, and I think the work that they're doing there is amazing. I think what that union is doing there is some great work. They have the ability to provide an apprenticeship program that they're trying to build into the LAUSD programs currently. With so much funding that's being cut from the education side, especially from the trades, shop classes are no longer there. Carpentry classes are no longer there. They're trying to say, hey, look, if you are willing to offer it, they're willing to provide the programming. You just need to provide the space. And what you're able to do is the high school students will be able to finish off their apprenticeship, or what they call their boot camp, by the time they finish high school, so they can go directly into their apprenticeship as soon as they graduate, straight into the Western Carpenters Union. And I think it's a great opportunity. So if you ever have an opportunity to visit that location or are interested in it, please visit their website. Again, it's the Western Carpenters Union Center in Carson. Also got to go to an event this weekend for the Save America movement. What's happening right now with the ICE detentions and the way that they're doing it in a way that we saw what the ruling came down from the Supreme Court. They're pretty much just saying that they're allowed to profile us, right? They're allowed to say that we're low income, that you have a low paying job, you're at a low paying job, you look Hispanic. We're allowed to question they're allowed to question if you're undocumented, just from those aspects alone. right. You talk with an accent, right? That's all that they need to have to be able to question if you're undocumented or not. And we need to be able to find ways to fight back. And I really respect what the Save America movement is trying to do. I think one of the things that we've seen is when we're out there and people are trying to do their best in videotaping what's happening, because the person videotaping is becoming so aggressive and being very hyper aggressive, I think in some instances, some attorneys are telling the people that they can't use these tapes. They can't use them to defend these individuals. So what they're trying to do is find ways to be able to film these events in a way where it's more of a documentary style, where they're just going to film it and present it as it is, so they can capture the actual event happening and capture the illegal event happening, so they can present it in court as evidence. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be something that's going to work. So far, they're going to have 3 Liberty vans here in LA County. They're hoping to grow that to 6 by the end of the month. But the first 3 are already out and about. So happy to see that. So if you get a chance to see them, they're green vans with white writing that say Save America Movement with the Statue of Liberty on it. I was a little questioned about the color green, van, being that it was so close to probably, a van, the kind of looks like an ice van maybe, but I said, okay. But they're trying to do a good thing. So hopefully it works, and hopefully we can stand with this movement and support it and what it's trying to do. Also, if you know of any families that are in need of food, we're still doing food distributions through our Stella Kiwanis organization, and also with this Southeast Leadership Foundation. If you have any family that is in need of food and is afraid to go out, please go to our social media page and our Instagram, message us. We'll go and deliver the food directly to them. No questions asked. We just drop it off at their door. We're just trying to support them. A lot of the local food banks have seen a drop of food actually being distributed because people are just afraid to go out and go get it. So we're just being that middleman now. We're just packing it and making that delivery for them. So if there's anybody please visit us at the Southeast Leadership Network on Instagram or on Stella Kiwanis on Instagram. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you for your reports. Well, I this weekend I basically didn't do much because I did a lot of moving. I was helping my daughter move back from San Diego to here, so 3 days of a lot of hard work. But with that, I did attend the new Azalea room. The new team room. And very nice room. And I just want to thank you, Steve, and your staff for putting that room together. And I think a lot of teens are going to like spending time there, especially during after school, where they can go and have a safe haven where they can go and do games, play videos. I know they have that video. And just to hang there and wait for the parents and even do their homework. I think this is a great place for them to pass their time. So I want to thank you for that, and thank your staff. Other than that, I really don't have much to report. Just see you this weekend at the car show. Looking forward to it. And let's move on with I will definitely be at the adult transportation pop-up. I will definitely be there. And also, I think that's about it. But most important of all, thank you, all of you, for being here today. I want to thank you for coming and bringing your concerns to us. And I say we can talk about it here, but we have written everything down. And we listen to what your needs are. So whenever you guys need anything, go to Steve, call the city manager, come to us. We're here to listen to you. And Connie, Mr. Godoy was a good man. Yes, he was. And I mean, I miss those grapefruits, which he used to bring a lot of grapefruits, and then we don't get grapefruits anymore. So if you want them, go get them, right? But thank you. We'll look into something for Mr. Godoy. So thank you with that, Connie. With that, let's move on to consent calendar. Thank you.
Agenda items 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 are consent calendar items, Madam Mayor.
Okay, council, I want you guys want to speak on them, or let me open it to the audience. Okay, anyone in the audience would like to speak on any of the items on consent from 3 to 11? Please come forward. Okay, being none, I'm going to close the audience. Do we have any emails on these items?
We have a few emails. The first one is for item number 3. Mr. Dominguez states that he proposes auctioning, item 3 proposes auctioning 59 unclaimed bikes at an off-site location in Ontario, and he questions why the auction can't be held locally, either at City Hall or at the park. He urges the city to conduct an auction in Southgate with clear advertising so local families, especially children, have a fair opportunity to obtain bicycles. Item number 4, Mr. Dominguez requests that under item 4, the Police Apprehension Crime Task Force, JPA, prioritizes enforcement against sellers and distributors of illegal fireworks, citing annual July 4th disturbances and recent incidents in Hollydale areas. As evidence, Southgate is becoming a hub. Here, just a concentrated county coordinated effort with measurable results to curb illegal fireworks in Southgate and across LA County. This one is regarding item 5 and 6. He thanks the council for including the long-running labor negotiations, concluding, but expresses strong concern that the agreements increase employee compensation while the city faces the $9 million budget shortfall. He questions prioritizing employee pay over resident services and urges greater fiscal sustainability. Item number 8, Mr. Dominguez objects to 8, which is the $72,380 professional service agreement, arguing those funds should first fix the poor Wi-Fi network in the council chambers. Here it is prioritizing chamber technology upgrades and adds that none of this evening's agenda items originated from any resident requests. Item number 10 and his final comment. Here just council to direct the Gateway Cities Council of Governments to pursue funding for the Stella Cultural Arts Center and to advocate for the Stella Bridge Park at Southern Avenue Connector, noting the project has been stalled since the former Assembly member Anthony Rendon left office. He emphasized both projects are included in Metro's Long Beach to East LA Corridor Mobility Investment Plan and asked council to leverage the Gateway COG to engage the LA County Board of Supervisors so these projects are prioritized and advanced. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Council? Any questions on any of the items? If not, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
I'm going to second it, and then I do have some comments I want to make.
Okay, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay, I for the folks' edification on item 3, can you explain where I don't even know who would do this. Is this you? About the $30,000, where that goes to?
Yes.
From the sale of all the...
Councilmember, so it depends on the asset that we're talking about. If it's an asset that was purchased through grant funds, some of those monies has to be returned to specific funds. For example, I think there's a vehicle that was purchased with asset forfeiture money that has to go back to the asset forfeiture fund. But for the most part, it's general fund that this goes into.
Okay, let's see. On item 7, it's creating a position. Mr. City Manager, can you explain for everybody in the simplest of terms, because we are going to have a savings of over 400,000. I don't know if that's your or staff who can explain how the savings is going to come about.
I certainly, thank you. I can give you the high level and the headline if you need the details in the article below.
Yeah.
We can go to the department director, but overall, as I had mentioned, and we've mentioned a number of times here, we do have a budget crisis on our hands. We are trying to get the work done that needs to get done, both on the finance side and the public works side, and actually all our departments. So we're trying to be as efficient as we can. We're trying to look for ways to shrink, if we can, our staffing to be right-sized for the limited resources, but also have to be flexible for the reality of the labor market. It is tough to get certain types of positions in the labor market right now that are crucial for us to be successful. One of them is an accountant. So kids out there thinking about a career, get an accounting degree. There's not enough people with sort of credentials, and so we can't find it. We had a senior accountant position. We've flown for multiple years. We had somebody for a few months, but then they jumped to another job that paid more. The cities around us pay more. It's a premium, so we've adjusted the vacancy of a senior accountant to a slightly paid more principal accountant. So it's not adding a new position; it's just retooling one. I think it's about 5,000 to 6,000 more per year. So it's a very small increase. We're trying to be as frugal as possible, but seeing if we can get the talent we need to help us with the budget, with all the important things we have to do in the finance department. The other two positions are a restructuring that our public works director is going through to lean down his department. And so there's a reduction in a position, and also some moving of some positions from more senior positions to more junior, which we can pay less. So it's not ideal, but it is what we're trying to do to strategize to find savings to be more efficient. The benefit would be that we should be able to find some junior engineers, another career to start if you're looking as a kid, engineering. We can't find enough engineers, and they're having to pay them a premium. So for the wages we can offer at our city at the senior level, we're getting no candidates that have the skill set. So instead of raising our what we're going to pay, because we don't have the funds to do it, we're trying to be creative. And I think Arturo has done a great job in looking to get junior people that will train here. Hopefully they'll stay here. But we'll save money overall, which we need to do. But the drawback will be we'll be missing that experience. It'll be more pressure on Arturo and his senior team to handhold and train some of these folks. They won't come out of the gate running, and there'll probably be some delays and some things that are getting worked on due to that training process. But we're trying to find a way to compromise and make it through with our limited resources.
First of all, thank you for keeping it short. And you said accounting, I want to be just like you when I grow up there, Mr. City Manager. Yeah, we talked about, he's mentioned the financial situation, but these are things we have to do, right? So item number 9 is talking about spending $730,000 for crossing guards. And that, when I think about the responsibility, yeah, our responsibility is public safety, right? But again, seems to be no share of that from LAUSD. I think there's got to be some money that comes out of that because we're using general fund money to do that. But what we will not do is sacrifice the safety of children, even in a situation where we're having struggles with, which leads me to the other, right? We're talking about the unions. I know that one of the emails was talking about not, giving our employees fair salaries, but that's not right. That is totally not right. Not to pay our employees a fair wage is not something that we should allow. I've mentioned this before for those of you who are new to come to council meetings. I urge you to do your own research. One thing you hear is Southgate is the highest in taxing its residents, and that's just not true. It's factually inaccurate. And again, the reasons are this, right? When you look at the property tax, we have nothing to do with that. We only get to keep a very small percentage of that. We talk about the sales tax. Most cities have the same sales tax that we do. Most cities do. And when people say, hey, it's high at 10.75, our sales tax is 2%. The other 875 go elsewhere. They go to the state. So that's not us. Doesn't go here. Doesn't stay with us. And the third area where cities get revenue from is the utility users tax. And it ranges from city to city. Carson has a 2%. They generate 13 million just out of that 2%. Downey has a 5% utility users tax, and that generates over 10 million. And they've had theirs since 2012. Huntington Park has had theirs since 1978. And theirs is 9.75. Linwood has a utility users tax of 9.75 as well. And so when you're paying for those utilities, which are gas, water, electricity, phone, cell phone, cable, and internet, you pay that extra money. Southgate is at zero. And we've kept it at zero. And as a result, when you add all those taxes together, Southgate is the lowest in taxing its residents. And so to then penalize our employees by saying, we're not going to give you a salary increase, that's not fair. If you were a police officer in Southgate or a public works employee in Southgate, and you work real hard to bring in those quality of life things that make our city what it is, why would you stay if you can go to another city nearby and get paid more? Why? Because Southgate is not going to tax its residents. We have done everything we could to keep the taxes low. And I'm very supportive, and I've been very supportive of this increase to our employees because they deserve it. And so I just want to get that clear. Our employees deserve it. So us giving them the increase that we're giving them is an obligation, and it's fair. So again, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Welcome. Councilman Rios.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Item number 5 is about, employees, and I honor our employees. I respect our employees and their contribution and their work that they do. But everybody, you've heard today the theme, financial. We're in a financial situation. We have structural deficit. We've had a structural deficit for some time. And, when you have a $9.5 million deficit, what do? Do you live, do you continue to spend? And that's what we've been doing, the city. We've spent money on a study that the businesses could have done that wanted to do industrial warehouses here in the city. We spent over 600,000. Well, it's going to be 600,000. That's a lot of money for a study that the businesses should have paid. If we don't really need industrial businesses, but this council has approved that. We continue to hire people. We had 54 positions. We asked some of the here to freeze those positions. They didn't freeze them. We hired those positions. We're hiring those positions, and we have a deficit. What would you do if you had a deficit and you don't have that money and you're spending over? That's what we're doing in the city, and it scares me because we haven't changed the culture. We're hiring people. We're going to have to let them go maybe in a year. We did a study on the utility that the council members said. We hired a consultant group to come and talk to the residents. Would you want to pay higher taxes on your utility, on your gas, electricity, on your cable, all of that? You know what the study said? No, they don't want to pay. Right now, it's really unpredictable time. And we're going to put a lot of this on the residents, on the voters. It's going to go on the ballot eventually, and the voters are going to decide. And a lot of people feel here that it's going to pass. But there's no guarantee it's going to pass. And if it doesn't pass, we're acting like it's going to pass. And that's what I'm concerned about, that we're spending and spending. We just purchased 8 new vehicles for parks and public works. New vehicles, 8 new vehicles, close to 800,000. That's a lot of money. We're reclassifying positions, upgrading them and everything. Right now, in a time when we know we don't have no money. Somebody has to show some fiscal restraint. We're not showing it. I'm sorry to say that. There are consequences if you don't live within your means. And that's the way we're going about it. And I'm really saddened that we could continue down this road thinking that it's going to pass, that the utility tax rate is going to pass. We don't know if it's going to pass. And like that survey came back already said, no, a lot of people, right now it's already, the economy is bad. We're getting federal cuts. Healthcare is threatened for the elderly. The food programs are going to be threatened too. Housing vouchers are threatened. Our whole safety net's threatened. This is a hardworking, humble community. We could do better than that. Now, I believe that our employees deserve raises, but something we got to give some. We got to, cap their benefits, show some restraint. A couple of months ago, we talked about closing down the pool, the golf course, the youth activity. That's what I hate to see that. We can do better than that. But that's where we're going. That's where we're going, folks. And we could do better. This city could do better, could be more innovative. Our habits, we haven't changed. I've been on the council 7 years, and I'm seeing it from the inside. And we continue to spend. And I'm I'm concerned that if this doesn't pass, then we're going to be in trouble. So that's why I'm not voting by M5, because I believe that we have to show some constraint. It's nothing about our employees. It's a fiscal decision. When you don't have the money, you tighten up. And what do families do? They don't go to the shore. They don't go out and need something. We need to do some of that too. We're not doing it. We're eating out. We're going this. We're doing this. We're buying new cars. We're hiring new employees like never before. So I mean, this is where we're going. Somebody's got to voice that concern on the other side, and that's what I'm doing today. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mr. City Mayor, can you please clarify the trucks that Councilman Rios mentioned that we're buying out of general fund?
Yeah, it's can be confusing for a lot of folks, especially in the community that don't work in government. There's different funding sources for all the work we do. And the most precious funding source for our general services, such as police services and many of our administrative, community development, that type of service, planning, building, our general fund. And that comes from sources such as sales tax and property tax. And that's a limited pool. We also get a lot of funding from places like water bills. So that funds our water department. That comes directly from people's paying their water bill, and that fund is kept separate. So we make purchases with that money. We don't exceed how much we receive from the water bills to supply all the pumps, the repairs, the pipelines, the trucks, the things that are needed to serve the water department. So spending there to maintain and operate and replace broken things within the water department is not part of our deficit. It's not part of that $8 million deficit we're talking about. It's a standalone fund. So the bulk of these trucks we're speaking of were purchased for the water department, and the remaining trucks that were purchased were accessing grant funds and other funds. So we get funding from state organizations like AQMD. They want to incentivize organizations such as cities to green their fleet, to get rid of air pollution, to make especially the South LA area that's very impacted by exhaust. So they've given us hundreds of thousands of dollars that have very limited use. And one of the uses they're allowed to do is to buy electric vehicles. And in that case, when we buy an electric vehicle, like the electric truck we bought for Parks and Rec, it's funded from these sources. We can't use it to, fix potholes. We can't use that money to pay for anything else. That's what it's for. So when we quantify, say, an $800,000 purchase, we're being very mindful that zero of those dollars can be general fund.
Right.
So the amount looks high, but we just have to be mindful that it's not the deficit. It doesn't increase the deficit. These are funds that are for those purposes. And we actually leverage those funds to try to be as frugal as possible. When we replace, say, a 10-year-old water truck that came from water funds, instead of returning it for auction, we'll take that and slide it and replace a 20-year-old truck in our streets department. Now, the streets department, in many cases, or one of our other departments that has general fund funding, instead of buying a $60,000 new truck that'll add to that $8 million deficit, we're taking that water truck at $0 and saving that money. So it's very complicated, and I can understand the concern and maybe even the perception, but do know this is a lot of work. Our department directors are getting wrinkled and gray hair from the amount of effort we did in the budget process this spring and fall. There was a tough decision before the council at budget time. We had virtually $8 million in cuts before the council. And so to the comment being, where's the decision to be frugal? Where's the decision to make these cuts and not spend more? The council gave direction. There was either the $8 million cut, which is that path, or the path that was chosen was for this 1 year, we'll take a $2.5 million cut, reduce things, but keep spending to keep the city operating without closing pools, without closing facilities, without shutting down all of our special events, without impacting the community, with the hope that between now and the end of June, we can find a solution so that we don't have to go backwards as a city. So that gave us time. It doesn't mean that those cuts don't come in the future if we don't get a solution. But when we get to that point, if the decision is to either not go forward with, say, a tax measure or to have that tax measure cut, there was a mention about a very draft survey that was done for a very few homes about 4 months ago as a test run. The survey was very poorly written. It said, hey, do you want to pay more money? Well, nobody does. I don't want to pay more. What for? It wasn't clear. It didn't say, would you like to pay more money or have drastic cuts in all the services that you've come to rely on, including special events, including having the pool available, including having your park looked after, including all sorts of services. It didn't say that anywhere in the survey. I think that's a different question. So we pulled that survey. It wasn't well written. In the future, we'll look at getting more input in the future as we go forward. But we just have to be mindful that there is no free ride. There's not we are doing those little cuts. We're moving those trucks around. We're reducing a few positions, but we're not making the drastic cut because council gave that direction in July. Do not make those cuts this year. This community, we just had a hint of them, of trimming 1 day off of our pool, and we had this council room full of parents and kids. That cut path is very painful. The goal, as I understood from the council, is let us put a tax measure in front of the community and let them decide, are we going down a drastic cut road or a preservation road? And whatever direction they give us, we'll be prepared to make that. But as I understand from your direction, that day is not today.
Right.
That day is after that election.
No, thank you. And I appreciate that clarification. It's sometimes, we as council, we need to look onto all the information the staff is giving us and also ask questions, which we have. Utility uses tax was mentioned. That's something that we are thinking of putting into the ballot, and let the residents decide what they want to do. And if it passes, we will have revenue. But if it doesn't pass, then we're going to have to cut a lot of services. And one of them right now that it's in the books is the crossing guards. And we don't play around with our children. All children need to be safe. That's why we're taking out of the general fund to put into the crossing guards. So it's educating our community on what the city is going through right now. And I think that's something that we are going to be doing in the near future, which is in a couple of months. We're going to start educating our communities, taking it to the community for them to decide, for them to know of the deficit that we have here in the city. But when it comes down to giving wrong information or just to say something, we need to educate ourselves in order to educate the community. And I think that is important. And that's my, and I think that's my responsibility as council is to make sure to understand a budget, to understand where we're getting the funds, where we buying the cars from police department. Most of the equipment is through the asset seizure funding, and that is not general funds. It's education, and I think that we need to continue educating our community and making sure that they understand. When it comes down to decide what is it that they want to do, it's their decision. If it passes, great. If it doesn't, then it's going to be tough on us deciding what we need to cut. And unfortunately, it's going to have to do with a lot of services that we provide. That's why we need to go to the community and have them make the decision of what is it that they want. And this is where all we need to come together and unite and think and talk about it. Ask questions, and I think that's the important thing. If you do not understand what is happening, please ask questions. Don't assume what you hear in social media, because social media right now, they are just throwing things out there, and they're not even coming out here and ask to see the books. Everybody, it's welcome to come and see the books. But please ask questions. Don't assume. And with that, we do have a motion and a second. And go ahead, Councilman, Vice Mayor Barron.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I want to just echo what the mayor is saying, but I think that I want to say that there is a responsibility that we have as council members and as representatives of the community to make sure that we're providing the truth and that we're providing information that is accurate. To stand up here and say, how are we spending $800,000 when we're in a fiscal emergency, knowing that the reason why we spend the money was to find savings for our community, knowing is just deceiving our residents. It's just deceiving our residents. Why? Because the only thing that they're doing right now is trying to push a narrative that they're trying to push because they want to push a narrative. That's it. The reality is what we were able to do and what the staff was able to do was find ways to save the community money, to move funds, to purchase vehicles in a way where it would not hurt our general fund, and in fact, save money from the general fund for years to come because we were able to move vehicles that would have to be replaced within 2 to 3 years in the general fund with vehicles that are in good shape, that are going to last anywhere between 10 to 12 years. So we just bought ourselves 10 to 12 years of time. But that's not what they want to say. They want to say we spent $800,000. It's the same group that came in saying, how can we be in a deficit and we're having to spend money on horses? That's the same group that's saying $800,000 on vehicles. Shame on them, and shame on you. Take pride in what you're doing up here.
Talk truthfully. Talk truthfully. Don't hide behind. You know how we move money. Come on.
Wow, unbelievable.
Let's go.
What did you major on?
Let's just take a vote.
Okay,
and
there's
again, I
there's
don't
a
wanna get
motion
into
and
it.
there's a motion and a second.
okay, yeah.
If you're gonna vote no, then just vote no. And roll call, please.
Councilmember Hurtado,
Yes on all of them.
Councilmember Rios,
Yes, on all of them except 5.
you're going to recuse yourself from 5 or no
Is
on
that-
5?
Is that a no?
No on 5 and everything else, yes.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Barron,
Yes.
Mayor Davila.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Next item, please.
It's the truth. I'm just putting it out there.
Lying.
Item number 12, the City Council will consider a ratifying the appointment by Councilmember Gil Hurtado of Evelyn Martinez to the Citizen Advisory Committee. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And with this item, Councilman Hurtado?
Yes. So I had a conversation with a young lady who put in a form indicating that she would like to be on the CAC, on the Park Commission, and the Planning Commission, kind of sort of in that order. I had never met the young lady, but I had a good conversation with her, and I think she's going to be reading a little bit of a bio on her. But I was impressed with her quite a bit. But I did ask her, I try to be as upfront with her as I could. And I asked her, I said, you put number 1, CAC, number 2, what was the second? What was it? I think the second was Parks and Rec. Oh, here it is. Planning Commission, and number 3, Parks and Recreation Commission. I said, did you just put numbers out there or was there an actual interest? And she said, well, I don't really know what a CAC does, but I'm interested in it. I said, okay, because that's the only position I have. And if you're excited about that one, let me give you a little bit of background on it. After I told her, she wasn't that excited about it. And so I told her, I said, well, look, that's the only position I have. But there's never been a like a policy that says you can't serve on 2. So if you like, I can put you on that one. And by the way, we've been discussing CAC, there are 4 members that each council member provides. So that's 20 people that serve. And that's still on the municipal code. But we've been playing with the idea, because it's always hard to get a quorum on that, of reducing it from 20 to 10. So I made her aware and I said, if that happens, I'm going to keep the other 2 and excuse you. Are you okay with that? She said, yeah, I just want to get my name known out there. And then she said, does anybody have an opening? I said, well, Councilwoman Avalos does have a opening, but I can't speak for her. If you want, you can reach out to her. And I think on the bio that she put in, she mentions that. So again, in talking to her, I'm very impressed with, she's been here in Southgate. She's been volunteering in a lot of activities. She's a college graduate, and she was doing some work out on the field, which kind of sort of blew me away. She was using a what? Yeah, she was using a drone. I don't know exactly what it was for, but she doesn't like environmental work and things like that, which is right up my alley, by the way. And so I was really impressed, and I offered her this opportunity, and so I'm here to nominate her for that.
Okay. If I can read her bio or her letter.
Yes, please.
Thank you. She says, hello, everyone. My name is Evelyn Martinez. I could not be there in person due to my prior commitment. I wanted to write something brief, whether it's read before or after my vote or the vote. I have lived in Southgate my entire life. I attended Independence Elementary School, Southgate Middle School, and Southgate High School. I then went to further my education at Cal State Fullerton with a degree in earth science. My interest in joining the Citizens Advisory Committee is simple. I want to do my part in keeping myself and others informed of what is going on in Southgate, and there's no better way to do that than getting involved. Working with the city is nothing new to me. I've been volunteering at city events since I was in middle school, as well as when I was president of Interact Club in high school. All of that volunteer work was recognized when City of Southgate awarded me with a Youth Volunteer of the Year award in 2016, as well as another certificate from the city. I have tried to do my part well beyond when I was a student, but now that I have an established career, I've presented at Career Day at Tweed Elementary, Southgate High School for multiple consecutive years, and was a STEM speaker for the Girl Scouts chapter within the city. Whether it's helping mentor the youth or helping the old folks in our community navigate it, I have done this work for years without ever expecting anything in return. But I bring this all to light now to show that I have always had Southgate in the back of my mind, and humbly ask for your vote to this committee. I'm also interested in joining the Parks and Recreation Commission, but I have not heard back yet. So I'm using this as a way to show my interest and possibly receiving a nomination from Ms. Avalos. Thank you, and I'm ready to get to work. Kindly, Evelyn Martinez.
Okay, so I made a motion. I just need a
Second
second.
your
Oh,
motion.
there's 2 seconds. Pick one.
I'm so
that's
sorry.
fine.
I have a comment,
Oh,
an email comment. If I can
Oh,
read
you
that.
do? Go right ahead, reading.
This one is from Mr. Dominguez. He states, thanks Councilman Hurtado for choosing not to appoint Robert Montalvo to any commission. He strongly urges that Mr. Montalvo not be considered for future appointments, citing concerns about decisiveness and community trust. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hurtado,
yes.
Councilmember Rios.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Barron,
Yes.
Mayor Davila.
Yes, the motion
Motion
passes. All right, we'll move on to warrants. City Auditor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
City Council will consider A, approving the warrant register for September 23rd, 2025. The grand total is $5,173,233.52, and there are no cancellations. Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And before we move on to this, I would like just to make a comment and ask the city attorney to weigh in on this if I can. In closing of the last vote, Councilmember Al Rios said, and I quote, "You know how we do it here. We move around money." I just would like the city attorney to just, if we can, have a discussion outside of here, and maybe we can see if the city council member has some kind of issue with what we're doing as a city. Maybe he has some evidence that, we're misappropriating of funds in the city of some sort, because he made a comment out in public forum, and I don't take that lightly.
I didn't never use the word misappropriation.
No, you didn't,
We
but
do
you-
move money around, so
Let's
I'll
move
stick
on,
to
Madam
that. We
Mayor.
could talk about that later.
Thank you. All right, thank you. I'll go ahead and open up to any member here in the audience if you have any questions regarding any warrant register. So any items that here on the warrant register? No? Seeing none? Any emails, Madam Clerk?
No emails, Vice Mayor.
Okay, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Roll call?
Councilmember Hurtado,
yes.
Councilmember Rios.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Barron,
Yes.
Mayor Davila.
Yes.
Motion
Okay.
passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Unless you guys want to stay here longer, we can
We
talk here all
are-
night.
Thank
No.
you, everyone
Good
who's
night,
still here
everybody.
with us.